Hello everybody and welcome back here on the Heroes Launch channel. My name is still Samu, it hasn't changed since yesterday, and today we will see the Division 4 Grand Finals, who we also will see today, who is called Transparent, but he is not transparent. He's here visible right next to me. Welcome Transparent, and he's joined by Isness today. Welcome.
Thank you, Samu. It's wonderful to be here. Division 4 looks like it's going to be an absolute awesome festival of Heroes of the Storm tonight. And yeah, Isness, are you excited to see these two teams face off?
Yeah, I played versus both of them back in the day, so it's always fun to see how they might have changed their methods.
Yeah, I
So
think
it
it
will
was
be exciting.
it's almost 2/3 of teams this season had legacy. So a lot of these teams have been around for a little while. I know that lots of teams have been looking at each other's semi-finals as well. Samu, have you got any predictions of what we might see today?
Being AFK for Coco, they've been around for ages it feels like, but Neo Unity, they managed to get first place in the regular season. And they also faced up in the regular season. Neo Unity won that one 2-0, so we shall see. But first of all, we have to look on which map they will face up. Well, on the one side, from Neo Unity, we do see bans against the Diablo maps. Battlefield of Eternity and Inferno Shrines are removed by their hands. FK for Coco, banning out Cursed Hollow and Towers of Doom, and therefore the first map choice in the hands of FK for Coco. Therefore, first map pick, first pick inside of Neo Unity, we will see Dragonshire.
Yeah, Dragonshire was a map that AFK for Coco struggled and really battled through in the semi-finals to win. So it's interesting that they've picked it up. Maybe they've got some confidence from their semi-finals to be able to pick it up here. But it does look like both of our teams are ready, Sammy. We might be able to get into the draft fairly soon.
That's very nice. A quick early start into today. Yesterday we went the full 5 maps in the Division 5 Grand Finals. First 2 maps looked very good for one team, but then surprising reverse sweep came out from the other. So make sure you check that out if you missed it yesterday.
So, Isness, you said you've played off against some of these teams in the past. Sammy,
Yeah, both.
what sort of heroes do you think we could expect tonight, Isness?
I think you need to keep an eye on Calzador on Neo Unity. He likes Hanzo and Chromie and is very good at both of them. So I think you should probably even ban his heroes. And on AFK for Cocoa, I don't really remember what they played because they've changed a few players since I last faced them.
Hanzo and Chromie, definitely those ranged heroes from afar who can poke you down, get you low, set the team up for some nice kills there.
Yeah, of course. A lot of people prioritize banning out some of those tanks as well. Johanna gets prioritized up here, but we have seen Stitches as well in the past.
On Dragonshire?
I know. Yeah, we have.
Quite interesting. Dragonshire does feel like a very good map for Stitches. And the best map for Stitches, I guess, would be Towers of Doom. No one has been mentioned.
Towers and Tomb, I would guess. But I think if you go for the 1-4 split on Dragonshire, you could get value from the Stitches. But then you can't really cap top and need to do so.
Yes, we do see Johanna and Varen being removed. Two of those frontliners you mentioned earlier on.
Yeah, of course. I think this is going to be a battle of the tanks for sure. We're going to see a lot of that eliminated. However, what are these crazy picks that might come out a little bit later as it all develops? Tigers being banned out does mean that probably someone hefty like a Diablo, potentially even Garrosh as well if people are scared. Lots of these things are being considered here by FK for Coco.
I feel that Murden should be a high priority for the map now. With the Johanna banned, Murden has a easy time rotating between mid and bot and can gank surprisingly well.
It's going to be Anduin picked out. Now, this is such a common early pickup for these lower divisions. People like to have that Anduin to really keep it safe. You know, he can deny so many early picks on, and later on it sort of drops off a little bit until you get that double pull to really sort of help make sure you prevent those pickoffs. But yeah, early game and a quick Anduin leap of faith can really stop any sort of snowball happening. We're having damage picked up here by AFK for Coco, and they've gone for Chromie and Valor. That's a hefty amount of damage, but very, very squishy.
But picking both damage this early is very risky.
Yeah, they either feel very confident in these damage picks, and they're not prioritizing anything like the Muradin. They're not thinking about that. They think they've got other picks available, of course. Yeah, but getting through the Muradin now with the Chromie and the Valor, it's going to be a little bit tricky. Muradin does have pretty good tools for dealing with it, but if they go for that temporal loop, he might be stuck in that one place before he can dwarf toss away.
Yeah, I especially like the Merlin pickup together with the Anduin, just giving him a light bomb and he jumps in. Is a very threatening tool to engage onto Vala and Chromie. They have to be very careful against it. And the Haka for the top lane, just overall, probably the best hero in the entire video game, right? Definitely not biased.
He can also soak so much damage versus the Chromie Vala and still jump out or even get pulled out if need be. Very good sponge to have in the front line.
Yeah, oh, the Chen banned out. This has been the ace in the hole for AFK for Coco, having Poppin' Fresh playing that off lane this season. Loves picking up that Chen, loves having that keg to really disrupt team fights. And with the Hacker locked out as well, I think they're going to be probably forced into that Sonya. Not really seen them stray too far away from those picks.
Well, the blade! Anyways, oh, it's gonna be a Rel instead. We also do see Deca being picked up.
Yeah, Zelius loves this Deca Kane. They really, I say it every time I cast them. I played with AFK for Coco last season. Zelius plays Deca Kane like it's the 30th minute, you're level 26 from minute 0. Like every time, going forward, trying to make these big plays happen, constantly on the edge of danger, risking it all, but it often pays off, and it has been banned out against them in the past. But damage has been picked up here by Neo Unity. Isness, do you think that Sylvanas Lunara is the right pick here?
I think Lunara is great here versus the Deckard, and Sylv can help with the macro. So I think Neo Unity should be winning the macro, and they still have a stable 3-man bot.
Yeah, we've got.
While on the other hand, AFK is a bit squishy.
Yeah, they are very squishy, especially with that ETC. A lot of their health bars can be blown up, but Sylvanas Lunara, not exactly the blow-up comp you usually see. Lunara does have a fair amount of burst, but certainly, if the red team find those mosh pits, find those power slide, they can get the damage out first. It's a little bit of a case of who plays their hand initially, and if the red team can play their hand fast. Samu, we have predictions up, if I'm correct.
Yes.
How do you think this match is going to go?
Well, with Sylvanas yesterday had a lot of impact in Division 5 Grand Finals. Lunara already mentioned very good spread damage into the Deca, very annoying to deal with.
Yes.
I think it just comes down to if Muradin with the light bomb is able to find those engages when they're already low, find those engages to secure the kills.
Prepare for combat.
Yeah, well, let's see, Samu, shall we? As we get into our game number 1 on the Dragonshire with, here in the blue team, it is Neo Unity with Calzador on the Muradin, Spoon on that Anduin, Facto on Sylvanas. This is Lunara, and Vintex is playing the Hacker.
On the other side, we have Celias on his Deckard, Yimmick on ETC, Poppin' Fresh on IRL. The last two, hard to see, they walk right over each other.
Well,
What's
here's
that?
the top tip is this, you can always press tab.
Oh yeah,
we have a push
yeah.
in the top lane, yes, yeah, Sylvanas going straight for
Been a
that
while.
up here, as we do have, yeah, that Sylvanas trying to pick off that top tower. They don't manage to get it. That's going to be great stuff for the Hacker later on in the solo lane. Oh, Lunara
Nice
taken down, first blood here, and, you know, staying a little too long potentially. the blue team will have to try and reassess what they want to do for this early plan. Dahaka, though, burrows all the way back up and will now be trying to pressure that top lane as long as they can.
Those catches, I think, will be very big for AFK. In order to win the macro, they sort of need to get some catches with the ET slide.
Yeah, I mean, that's what ETC Slide's all about, right? Getting these early kills. We do see Linux picking up this W build Valor as well, which they do like to play this a lot. It gives them a lot of extra burst compared to the auto attack. They're going for these shorter engages, but they still need to get it stacked up. And it might be that when there are these longer fights down in the bot lane, they can start to get it available. They're not looking to definitely kill the Muradin. They're more likely to go for this backline as we see Factor in a little bit of trouble. Power Slide comes out the root as well from Zelius, but the damage not quite there. Beanfish a little bit far away still. Zelius in a little bit of trouble. Yumek looking to try and get some peel, but Dahaka has come down all this way, and it looks like ETC does fall, having to pull the attention away from Zelius. Still, a kill for a kill
Amazing
here.
set there from Dahaka.
Yeah, you always good to get your Dahaka come down. And they're now going back to those offlanes. Blue team can maybe try and pressure this objective a little bit.
Yeah, so they went for the 1-4 split or 1-1-3 with Syl roaming, and I think that's very good for New Unity. If they continue the macro pressure, I think this will pay off.
Yeah, of course. Red team now have gained their both channels.
Ooh.
They're pushing down in the bot lane as well, looking for kills. Factor in a little bit of trouble as well. And while the red team have both channels, they can definitely just pressure a lane if they want. You know, there's the threat that they could get at Dragon Knight, but they don't have to. I don't like that they're rotating to the mid lane. This feels like a little bit of an overcommit here. And now with ETC coming down, they do find a stun on Lunara, but it's just a little too late. I would have liked to have seen them either try and push in this bot lane, really open it up, and just let Yrel do that double soaking while potentially threatening the Dragon Knight should they claim it back. Still, they've restabilized, but Anowin's back.
I think you clear the camp and then push one tower so you get slightly ahead in the bot lane, because that's the most important lane on the map. So they get the kills, but I want to see them use the advantage a bit more. AFK.
Yeah. No, they definitely can look to press the advantage, especially, as you say, with this ETC early game, they may want to be trying to get those picks before it becomes too squishy. Poppin Fresh up in here in the top lane. Laning against Vintex, who does get the tongue. However, I think Poppin is just trying to play delay on this objective. Red team, though, rotating into the mid lane, trying to find Muradin in the side. As we do have ETC now channeling the objective, but Sylvanas able to disrupt it in the bot lane.
The camp taken here on the blue team might be decisive. Now it's hard for the Haka to for IRL to do a soak. So the blue team could pressure bot and force the AFK to protect mid.
Well, they could well get the Dragon Knight here. They are definitely out of rotation. Yrel has gone top. Zelius has been able to push out onto the bottom. Lunara is channeling, but it's not quick enough. And it quickly swaps over to the hand of the red team here.
Yeah, but look at the top push. That is both towers.
Yeah, Beanfish a little bit of trouble here in the bot lane. And he goes down. Factor in a little bit of trouble, but now without the Chromia, I don't think they quite have the damage to take someone down. Anduin will be able to kill them through, especially with Desperate Prayer on level 7. No one's particularly in danger, but Yumek is now, and it's a kill onto ETC. Zelius getting booped away from it, but without another stun. Oh, they had it. AFK goes down too, and Neo Unity looking strong right now, Isness.
Yeah, Sylvia's decided she wanted some kills and she committed hard and the team followed up. Very nice done.
Yeah, ETC and Dekakane now making their way back to this bot lane. Blue team still not yet channeling that objective. And we do see Sylvanas trying to push it out here. A little bit of pressure in the mid lane as well. It's a very slow takedown of structures from the Blues, but it's reliable. They are a level ahead. They're looking for something in the bot lane. ETC potentially in trouble. And the damage is enough.
I wanted them to go for the camp, but if they catch ETC, this might be even more valuable. Now they finally have the chance to take the Dragon Knight.
Well, they have level 10 now. They have the Avatar, the Thornwood Vine, Isolation, the Wailing Arrow, and of course the Light Bomb. Chromie trying to get this interrupt for as long as possible, but there will be a time where they are just a little too far forward.
I tried to save this realm.
So Dragon Knight goes over to the blue team. Already this mid wave has been opened up just from the macro pressure of the blue team. And now with this Dragon Knight, they can try and punch through some of these structures. But Valor and Chromie should be able to do enough.
Yeah, you just buy time and try to push bot and top to get even bigger advantage in XP, I feel. It's very hard to commit fully on the fort while everyone is alive.
Yeah, especially, you know, they have this Thornwood Vine. Oh, it's a good power slide onto Facto, slowing Sands as well, keeping them in place. I'm very surprised that we don't see the Temporal Loop, especially with W build still. Like, it feels like Temporal Loop would pull back someone who's about to be pulled out by Anduin. Keep someone in there a little bit longer, but maybe they're just hoping to control a little more space with, of course, the Mosh Pit and the slowing Sands. Dahaka pushing in top very aggressively up here.
Yeah, Dahaka is doing work top, but next Dragon Knight, whoever gets it, I want to see a bit more patience. You're not in a rush really, especially if you're the team with better macro. Dahaka following top though.
Yeah, he was very far forward as we do see a leap onto them. Dahaka falls, but it was a full 5-man commitment from the red team. We see Siege Giants here in the bot lane. Sylvana's pushing him further. She needs to be careful to get out. She's already used her Haunting Wave as well. And Itzy coming around the corner with the Mosh Pit available, looking to try and catch. Maybe just Muradin is enough. Obviously, Wailing Arrow can interrupt, but yeah. Red team not wanting to commit too much.
It's free mid fort when the space is made bot, I feel, if they just commit with Sylvie. Because they really should use their advantage near Unity. They have so much better macro. I want to see some more pushes. But I think they're playing patient for 13.
We have ETC
Also
very much alone by themselves in the bot lane, so the blue team can look to pressure this top fort. Hop and Fresh trying to zone them out, but it's all by themselves essentially, as the rest of the red team are not here. They are doing the camp instead, it seems. This fort does go down. I'm not sure if the camp is worth that. Hop and Fresh trying to find the engage, finds it onto Sylvanas. Sylvanas will have to get either saved, and out comes the power slide, catches onto them. Stay one, listen, catches onto Lunara as well, slowing Sands underneath to make sure that they don't have any sort of easy escape. And without the majestic leap, the Thornwood Vine means that they stay right in place. And red team picked up 2 kills.
Look at the beautiful swap here. They went 4-man top to hard commit while the Hackadu was soaked. AFK had to play reactive and they overcommitted top and then chose to finish the camp while the Hacker got extreme value mid-bot.
Yeah, and a commitment of a Mosh Pit in the bot to try and get that to Hacker, but Anduin was there to heal up anyone. Now red team tried to get that channel onto the Dragon Knight here. Calzador is stunning and interrupting. Dwarf tosses away. Can they find anything more? Zalias is going to be able to get something through, but a Wailing Arrow interrupts, and Dahaka is top lane. Will they get it through? No, they won't. The red team claim the Dragon Knight.
Wow.
Such a close one here, and the red team do look good now. They are even in XP. These kills have been 5 apiece. Can they get enough patience?
They just get the wall if they commit this hard. They have to play way slower. Maybe they get bot wall as well.
Dragon's Breath is so valuable on this Dragon Knight, and now they're losing so much HP. They have 39 seconds that they could have been Dragon's Breathing with. Zalias is going to come out and have to heal up their team. That's always the problem with getting your healer inside the Dragon Knight, is that a lot of your members then are so much more vulnerable. Especially when they're squishy like the whole of the red team, basically.
But you just queue, fall back, queue, and you slowly but surely get the buildings. Like, you're not in a rush, right? You can stabilize the lanes, just take it slow, force attention to the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, I think
but both teams have done the same thing though, which is beneficial.
Certainly you do want to be wary of Lunara poking you down, but there's a little bit of a fight going on in the mid lane as the Hacker Oh, gets caught by the
wow.
the mosh pit, but it seems like the hacker was right on the edge and was able to evade it after one little bit. Stonewall and Listen also being committed, but not quite finding anything. And I think the red team, that was a little bit of a desperation. They could have played a bit more patiently, and now the blue team are looking at this mid-fort.
I mean, I sort of like it because they were about... Neo Unity was about to get 16, so they wanted to make the play pre-16. So I get the general idea, but after this had failed, I think mid is just lost. Like, the macro pressure is too big.
Yeah, we now have blue team warding around. We have a little bit of an engage onto Muradin as they are not going to be able to leap out. They have top Avatar. Out comes the Leap of Faith as well. The hacker, though, burrows in, misses the isolation as ETC gets tongued, but the roots are going to be there. ETC, a lot of stuns going on to them. They try to find something, but a great Wailing Arrow means that Decker Kane can't help them whatsoever. And the dangers of fighting are here.
Incredible game from Facto and beautiful follow-up. But Facto, I think, with his Sylp has been the deciding factor so far.
Take hold of the
Yeah,
shrine.
absolutely has been putting out a lot of pressure, a lot of these Wailing Arrows as well. And they do indeed finally claim this middle fort.
Team has destroyed a fort.
As it took one more auto attack than I thought it might. Level 16 just round the corner for the red team. And that could make a little bit of difference. Valor, of course, getting a bit more damage. We can see Decker Kane take up either the bonk stick. It is going to be that. ETC getting some armor. And Jurel, of course, getting some percentage damage.
I think what we need is IRL to be a bit proactive, and she has to rotate, so it isn't always the hacker making it 5v4. Instead, they can force the brush stock by Pop and Fresh joining the team.
Yeah, I think
Because they need to look for something.
I'd love to see them, you know, they've got a lot of space on the map now. They don't have to worry about forts going down. They can try and just ignore that a bit. But they are behind in XP. So they do either need to make a big play, and a confident big play, or just keep that soak up. As we see, Yimek goes in, tries to find Lunara. Also gets kicked away, but it's going to be a great stay a while and listen to lock down that deer.
And it still has Marsh, and he's coming from behind.
Yeah,
When the kick is down, he should look for it.
Dragonite, of course, unstoppable, can't be mosh pit. But Dragonite is going to slowly walk away now as another kick comes out onto ETC.
This is a good flanking position, unless they fully fall back. They should look here for the 5v4 and finally get the building for themselves.
Yeah, there is a top lane pushing in with quite a big wave. I hope they don't feel too pressured by that. But yeah, they are going to finally take a little bit of damage down here in the bot. Oh, it's a good zoning route here from Decker Kane.
Oh, invading the camp. No, invading the camp.
It's not a bad call. Of course, they have a lot of damage. They have a lot of AoE damage. And, yeah, Mosh Pit, of course, is great to use in these shows.
Oh, wow, that was a double
Mosh Pit
Mosh.
could be used. Light Bomb has been committed as well. This is a good place to turn around if they were 5v5. But unfortunately, Lunara's here. Urel's not, and the red team back away.
Oh my lord, that was a double Marsh on Spoon and this. But I think he felt a bit scared, Yimek, because Poppin was showing in the top lane.
Yeah, Light Bomb was available as well. Wailing Arrow will be up in 5 seconds. There's a bit of a fight going on here as CPC power slides in. Beanfish in a little bit of danger, but does have a fair amount of peels. We see Telias also be able to put people to sleep. Yimek falls very, very low, but this is so split. Decker Kane is going to go down as well. It's going to be 2 for nothing here. And the level 20 advantage looks at this bottom keep for the blue team.
Here it's even endable in my opinion. With a Sylv and this beefy front line, you can just step up.
Never say never when you could go down to 6% on your core against AFK for Coco. They could easily turn it around against you. But yeah, level 20s here definitely look good. Of course, Lunara being able to have that intensifying toxin, allowing her to really shred through a lot of damage. Irel
is showing. I think we just continue here. She's showing it will take 10 seconds to come back. But they're happy with the keep and to use 20 to get the Dragonite.
Yeah, took a little bit longer than perhaps some would expect here in the bot lane, but they do have that option. Level 20 for the Dragon Knight. The red team have to think about desperation plays. 50 seconds until mosh pit up, but stay a while and listen is available. Do they want to make some sort of play for the Dragon Knight to avoid having to fight against it without level 20, or are they going to give it up?
If you look at the map, they have no vision. And Neo Unity played very well being outside of the vision the whole rotation to top. So AFK can't know.
You're looking at the hacker, but not quite committing everything. Power slide down for a while now means that the blue team can position forward quite nicely. They're popping fresh in a little bit of trouble, as we do have the red team trying to push in. Vinchek's trying to get that channel, and they do manage to get it through. Red team need to peel away as quick as they can. Popping fresh, 30 seconds until their ulti is up, and so it's now 60 seconds until they respawn. And the blue team have a 4 versus 5, level 21 to 19 advantage with a Dragon Knight. Can they end this game?
But AFK will get 20 within half a wave, or just passively in 5 seconds. So I think this is defendable.
Yeah, Yimek gets kicked away. Linux with this W build is trying to shred through those health bars as best as they can. Beanfish as well. Mosh comes up, it lands onto 3. Out comes ETC, gets the Mosh onto 2. Silence is still onto there. Dragon Knight's still going on there. It's a Tor bus as well, but this Dragon Knight is getting through the health bar of the core. Linux desperately trying to do something. Lunara goes down, as does ETC, but is this going to be enough? It's just a Dahaka and a Muradin with an Anduin to support them, but they do have a fair amount of damage. 25% on the core. Deca Kane gone as well. Beanfish isolated. Bala tries desperately. Urel is back. That's going to be a decent chunk to help defend, but GG is called, and it does go down. Neo Unity win game number 1.
I like this game. This was a nice starter. And I think Neo Unity, they saw what their win condition was, and they just kept on going. While AFK will need to find a solution for when they fall behind like this next time. Maybe a bit beefier frontline in the 4-man might be beneficial for their playstyle.
Yeah, it definitely felt like that macro that you talked about. Samu, how did you feel that game went here for AFK?
I feel like both teams, in terms of skill, and especially the team fights, were very close. I don't think there's one just clear winner because they were just so much better. I feel like what Neo Unity did very well, especially early on, they had great control with the Dahaka, like pushing top and then going aggressive bottom with the Dahaka, brush stalk, and then going 5v4, getting 2 kills, and then get value out of that. And I think one thing Neo Unity did much better than AFK for Coco this game, which is also partly because of the draft does it better, is the amount of structures they got while getting when getting those advantages. We did see 5 to 5 in kills somewhere around level 14, 13, something like this, I think. And we did see that Neo Unity, they still had all structures up. I think they lost maybe 1 or 2 walls. While on the other side, AFK for Coco, they had only mid 4, and that one was down to half health. So even though they were even in kills, very even in team fights, Neo Unity just had so much better control on the map with this macro pressure they had. It was very hard for AFK for Coco to get something done when they get those kills in the team fights.
Yeah, I would have liked them to pressure a little bit more, as you say, onto those structures, try and find something, because they were just slowly falling behind. And I think then once they're behind, it's so much harder to play their composition. ETC gets blown up so much quicker if you're down that level advantage with HP and damage. Yeah, so yeah, it's a tough one to break. I don't know quite what we're going to be expecting this best of 5. Maybe they'll adapt and try and go for a map that's a bit more team fight heavy and try and just force those fights earlier on. They've gone for first pick, and we have, of course, Alterac Pass, Braxis Holdout, Garden of Terror, Sky Temple, Tomb, and Volskaya Foundry. And if you're Neo Unity, Isness, where would you be wanting to take this next map?
As macro heavy as possible based on what I saw the first game.
And when you think big
the
macro,
rotations were crisp, yeah.
when you think big macro, do you think Tomb of the Spider Queen?
It can be, but maybe not the most common one.
Well, Samu, is that where we're going by any chance?
Yes, this is where we're going.
We are going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Yeah, they have
Aw.
picked that one up, and I think that's unusual. But at the same time, of course, yeah, the macro was something that they excelled in, but also pushing that earlier game advantage is something they
Yeah.
did well. And Tomb of the Spider Queen, you can try and do that a lot. It is a map that often can go on quite long, but if you are able to keep that advantage going, keep pushing in, getting early kills, getting a lot of early pressure, then you can control the key points.
If you look at the rotations from Neo Unity first game, that should translate to good control over the payment areas. So that might be the thought process, that they have advantage in the small skirmishes that isn't a full-blown 5v5.
Yeah, it could well be. I mean, obviously that Sylvanas, is it going to be something they think about banning out? They banned out the Varian, and they banned out Tychus as well. It might be that they're quite scared of the Tychus still on this map, but is that Sylvanas going to be a higher priority? I don't think they're too scared of the Lunara. I think that's probably one of the things that they're not too worried about, as it never quite felt like she had that pure level of choking people down that you quite often see Sylvanas have.
We shall see how it goes. On the other side, we did see Falstad and Johanna being banned down. I think Johanna is a very good banner as well on Tomb of the Spider Queen. So would not be too surprised to see her being removed, while Falstad, not that common on the smaller maps like Tomb. We did see him being banned yesterday on Tomb of Spider Queen as well in the Division 5 Grand Finals, so would not be too surprised because he still brings a lot of value to the team, even if you are not able to get the most value out of him being a global.
Yeah, I do wonder if we're going to get that Johanna ban as well here. Obviously, I think they feel like Yumek is very strong on that tank, and taken off it, it's not quite as strong for AFK for Coco. So I wonder if that will still be here, especially on Tomb of the Spider Queen. With first pick now in AFK for Coco's side, maybe they'll have a little bit of a different draft. Of course, we saw them prioritize 2 DPS early on. Do you feel like that draft sort of hindered them there, Isness?
100%. You commit to a specific playstyle. Because what I want to see this game from AFK is a bit more proactiveness, so they can look for the plays. If you have Chromie and W Valla, you play a bit more for the poke, unless you catch someone, but they have had Anduin as a solution. So I want to see a bit more aggressiveness and save 1 DPS pick for the last 2, so you can really counter pick.
Well, yes. These teams are getting ready for Tomb of the Spider Queen here, of course. They're going to be looking to pick up some decent wave clear, as well as potentially just some good old heroes that are ready to brawl it out. And, yeah, I'm always a big fan of Alarak on this map, but I don't think either team's pick it up. Let's get into it.
Tomb of the Spider.
Alarak on this map is a very interesting choice.
Alarak with May on this map is amazing.
It's all about just constantly trying to fight the enemy team. That's what you do with Alarak on this map. You don't care too much about the rotation if you're the Alarak player. You are just looking to take as many fights as possible, disrupt them, sow the discord and dissonance.
Varian ban again though.
There goes the Dreader. But I guess you pick Alarak and then be like, yo guys, you guys take care of the map, I do brawling. I go stack.
Yeah. But is this going to be that Tychus again, or are they going to ban out something else? Are they going to prioritize the Sylvanas themselves? It's not. Don't think it's one of FK for Coco's top picks.
Good question. I'm also interested to see how Anduin will be handled this game. If he will be left open to be picked up by one of the teams.
Yeah, I think Anduin can be that he just sows so much frustration into your team. If you're about to get that one kill that you thought you were going to do, then the pull comes out. And because it's a basic ability that's there from level 0, it feels so bad compared to like an ancestral healing of Rhaegar. But no Anduin for anybody this time. And I think, you know what? I think this benefits AFK for Coco.
Yeah, definitely. I think it leaves them open for other early picks and does not force them into the unwin.
But will they make the wise decision with those early game picks, or is it going to be first pick Chen?
Probably.
Falstad, wow. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, Linux likes playing this Falstad. They play an auto attack build with the boomerang on level 7 to give a little bit of spell armor reduction for whatever Beanfish is throwing at the enemy. We may well see a Kalthas from Beanfish if Chromie is taken away. But we are going to see Muradin come out once again for Calzador. And Brightwing here on top of it.
Are we sure it's Tomb, guys? Is it not a big global map?
I'm not sure.
As soon as the hack is picked up as well, we can confirm it's probably Cursed Hollow instead. It's just that everything is wrong
But
about the game.
Brightwing with the poly is incredibly strong in the rotations here. If you play the poly build and you go for fast pickoffs, poly into Murdenstone, if they just get some burst, I think it might be a quite good pick here.
I talked about the early pickup of Chen, and there we see it. Zelius as well with the Uther. And I think this is one of those things about in the lower levels of Heroes of the Storm, and it goes up to Division 2. Sometimes you just pick the heroes that you like, ignoring whatever happens in the draft. As long as you don't get completely, utterly countered, you can probably battle your way through, just with confidence. And
But
so now...
I did that in Div 1 too.
Yeah, I mean, it happens a lot, right? If you just pick heroes that you feel much more comfortable on, it can make you feel better, play better, and you know how to play with those. Sometimes countering the enemy team too much puts you on a hero that you're not exactly used to, and you'll play a little bit worse.
I think that aspect is the biggest one. The teams don't necessarily know how to play versus all the heroes and all the splits you can do. So a hero like Chen that hasn't seen much play the last few years might be very big.
Yeah, I've been enjoying him a little bit in ARAM recently, and yeah, you just do have a bit of fun. You have a bit of fun. Zelius, of course, does like playing this Uther just to protect from some burst, but we have seen Lunara and Sylvanas picked up, and I can see them being picked up here as well in this game. It's going to be Dahaka, though, as a prioritization with Lunara on top of
It
it.
is the global picks. Brightwing, Dahaka, Falstad.
Will they leave Ufa as the solo heal, or will they pick up a Stukov or something with it?
This will be Uther solo heal, from what I know about AFK for Coco. Now, Uther solo heal's not awful into Lunara. I want to say this. It's always thought like, oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's not as bad as you might expect. Stitches and Kalthas comes out. It is all about that Stitches hook, Uther stun, Kalthas stun, locking someone down. Brightwing can do very little into it, apart from perhaps getting right up and close to get that cleanse and pixie dust on them. So what the blue team need to do is start playing something aggro, but with the Uther there to also give them armor, it's going to be hard to play aggro into this team as well.
I think you go something like Gul'dan. Gives you wave clear and good poke into Uther. Then you have Lunara and Gul'dan. Sylv serves the same function. Like you can spread the damage. Uther has a tough time fixing it, and you still have a good macro.
Well,
I think Gul'dan and Sylv.
I'm getting my predictions in now in the chat, and I've put 4,000 points on AFK for Coco. I believe in them with this draft.
Yeah, it's definitely one that is a little bit different than you commonly see. It's more focused on getting those hooks with Citrus, getting those engages, getting those pickups, and then Ufa not being the best healer into Lunara in terms of the spread damage doesn't matter that much when you don't really fight them anyways.
Yeah,
But great follow-up into the hook with Uther and KT.
Don't forget that's Falstad reducing that spell armor as well. All plenty of options here.
We shall see how it goes as we're going into this game number 2 between AFK for Coco and Neo Unity.
And here in the blue team, we do have Neo Unity with Calzador on that Muradin, Spoon on Brightwing, Vintex on the Dahaka, Facto on the Sylvanas, and Lunara is of course played by this.
Battle begins.
And on the other side, we have Pop and Fresh on Chen, Beanfish KT, Celias on the Uther, Jimmick this time is Stitches instead of EC, and Linux on the Falstad.
And we have stacks galore on the side of the red team, with globes for Stitches, Kelpas, and Chen, and auto attack and Q quest for Uther and Falstad. But everyone's playing a bit patiently, you know.
With this setup, I would like Chen to rotate mid-bot to catch the globes together with KT and Stitches to get full value, if they can.
Yeah, Vintex is playing very aggressively generally with the red team. But we'll see what the rest of the red team can do, as blue team are trying to take that macro advantage. Beanfish in a little bit of trouble. Is gets the double stun out. Flame Strike underneath is going to poke down that hook. Comes out onto Muradin. Stun afterwards. And this could be a good early kill here with a final slam to finish off. But AFK for Coco got the first kill in game number 1.
I believe Spoon thought that Murden was already dead, because he had a lot of time to set him, but it looked so grim for the Murden, so I sort of understand the Brightwing there, not setting immediately, because you can also feed them.
Oh, Chen is in a bit of trouble bot lane, but low on health, having to just rely on that sustain from globes. Will be able to keep up. Meanwhile, the rest of the red team are now rotating around. Uther stunning themselves to get out of there. As we do see, the rotation is better for the blue team right now. They are playing it cleaner. They don't necessarily have better heroes for it, but they have just been a bit more disciplined in soaking these minions and rotating away.
I also believe that the fact that the Hacker tries to catch mid-soak for Essence, while Chen didn't do it, really benefits them. Like, those small rotations can make the game snowball.
Yeah, as we do have Stitches being pressured in that top lane right now from Sylvanas and Muradin. And as the stun comes out from Beanfish, doesn't manage to connect, but Yimek is down low on health. And Uther will struggle to heal them up, having to use their long cooldowns here. And that means that the red team are rotating away from this mid lane, knowing they're going to have to clear it up a little bit later. This is a tough spot to be for them.
This is huge. Just push mid, Neo, please.
Oh, good hook comes out onto Facto, but no stun available. Means the Facto gets away. A prediction of Flame Strike does hit them. They walk away with 200 HP. Yeah, I think you're right. I would have liked to see Neo Unity push this mid lane.
Yeah. I think you have to. If not, you just take the XP for camp or space. But they didn't pay meanwhile either. But very nice defense from AFK there. By landing the hook, they saved the front wall.
Yeah, now the blue team having to think about where they want to be. Popping fresh in the bot lane, clearing it out. Top lane being pressured by Sylvanas. And the red team think about where they want to go. Looks like they're going for a rotation, maybe trying to find this bottom siege camp. Beanfish showing onto the wave, just going to be clearing out. They need to not rotate all the way down, as well, they could be... Oh, blue team looking to play reactive here. I'd have liked to have seen them proactive and just push in lane. As the Hacker burrows down, the red team walk away.
I agree, transparent. There, KT walks in vision. You get the free wall with the Sylv. It's already low. But I think that they will catch on to it the longer the game goes, like they did game 1, unless AFK stops them.
Yeah, it's a Hacker here, not able to find the tongue on Poppin' Fresh, who's got a lot of gems. Yimek as well, who's pushing out there. Meanwhile, Calzador looking for a rotation, maybe trying to find something.
So it's Chen and Stitches who needs to pay an AFK, and I think Stitches has the opportunity to do a top, or had at least.
Yeah, Chen down in the bot lane now, a little bit of trouble as Stitches looks up here in the mid side.
Blue can rotate bot and pay, I feel.
Blue team have got the first Web Weaver wave. Will they be able to push it out effectively? We've seen them be a little bit timid this game, and red team do have the tools to deal with it. Elthas and Falstad both adequate at clearing these, especially with that boomerang on level 7. Shen as well can do okay these days, but pre-level 10, it's a bit risky for both teams, but no Gorge yet. So the blue team might be able to position a little bit further forward, and here, the pressure on the mid lane is exactly what we want to see.
Yeah, they gave a top for the mid push, which is great for the vision later when you try to play. So mid is a good early game priority.
Yeah, and we are seeing that cleared out fairly well here, but not without a lot of damage going down onto it. Blue team now rotating away, looking at top lane instead. But also not wanting to commit. They're so scared of these Stitcher's hooks. It's landed, but there's no follow-up here. They have to just walk away. However, Calzador might be in trouble. The boot comes out. Out comes the armor reduction. Also, the Flame Strike connects, and Calzador goes down to 10% HP. Quickly topped up by Brightwing, as well as that second wind. But that is what could happen to a squishy target here if they're in range of AFK for Coco. Still, they look to push up this top lane, and that's absolutely right, as level 10s are approaching for both teams.
What a beautiful play, because they know that AFK went for the camp. They didn't do it in vision, but still, like, it's quite obvious that they went for it, and then they exploited that fact and took the front wall.
Oh, as we see Chen getting tunned here, able to turn in their gems, and they should be absolutely fine. They have the keg if they wanted to. Mid lane is where the real battle is happening, though. As we see Yemek positioning forward, trying to find something. The rest of the Reds behind him.
The tank having 52 gems isn't always that good. Oh, wow. Okay, the hook compensates.
Yeah, and that is how we
But
like to see it.
Generally, I think it's a bit rough to have the tank having that many.
Yeah, this is
At
why
the
one
same
of my
time, maybe.
one of my favorite things is while the bruiser camp is pushing, and you kind of use that as a distraction to get your tank turned in.
Yeah.
Nick has got all of these. Uther shed their gems this time, so they can at least sacrifice themselves for the greater good. So you see Web Weavers falling in, that the red team are focusing on that top lane, trying to open it up for a potential boss soon after. Oh, Stitches gets the Gorge. Muradin potentially in trouble, trying to get it towards as the stun comes out a bit too early from Beanfish. I'd like to have seen them use it up after Uther gets their stun.
Hey, you
Muradin
can't one-shot Muradin like that here with Avatar.
Yeah, and look
You
at that,
have
the
to
Web
go
Weaver
for a different
already
target.
taken care of, by the way. All thanks to this level 4 Nature's Culling talent from Lunara, giving them 125% additional damage.
There's one thing I would like to add about that clear. It was that red team didn't really push in mid at all. They just went there for a hook, then left again. So it was a free clear from Sylvan and Lunara mid.
Yeah, hook comes out, lands onto Calzador though. Zeli is able to get the stun. Out comes the follow-up from Beanfish. The damage is there now for the red team. And Muradin does go down. This is the saving grace that they've got, the red team, every single time. They've now got a second pay in, 22 seconds until Muradin's here. They can prep those waves, but blue team doing the right thing of getting this bruiser camp. Still, red team now.
KT or Falstad has to be mid.
They're looking to push this as quick as they can. Oh, hook doesn't quite connect. I think they're staying as 4 because they know that this is the way they kill people. They know that that's what they do. They're not caring too much about the macro. Web Weaver wave is coming down now with minions. They're looking at that mid lane instead now. I don't know that this definitely gets the fort with the amount of damage that comes out, but out comes the wave. And yeah, as I say, it's just significant amount of damage if these aren't escorted in. Speaking of escorted in, mid lane is getting pushed. Are they going to get this fort, Isness?
I think it's still defendable with the wave clear that New Unity has. You had to go earlier mid or fully commit top, I think. But almost, like, very good with the double pay 2 times in a row, and they can even get a third here.
This
One
is
more gem.
the passive play that we have seen from the red team here. They are playing off these hooks, and when they get them, they are able to get an advantage, but it just means that when they don't get them, and when things like the blue team paying in all their gems in the bot side, they're just letting these things happen. Caldador able to leap away with Avatar. Goes away from their team, though, and this might be a little bit of an error. Waiting Arrow comes out. Beanfish trying to zone away with their damage, but Zelius falls low. Heals themselves up a little bit. However, Beanfish in danger. The red team fall back after this. Webweaver phase comes down, and look at the focus of the Blues. Deadly set their sights on this middle four.
With that said, they then lose value in the top lane. Like, top will be hard to get value from, so I think you have to get bot instead from Neo Unity. And great kill there.
Yeah, this is the
Really
cake value.
having an eye on the Murden.
Bot lane is pushing in as well, though. And, of course, as these Webweaver phases get later, they're more likely to get good value. Still, a double fort for the blue team is very good after so much attempts from the red team. Has only netted them one very slow fort. Beanfish goes to the
This
engage on
rotation.
Beanfish, doesn't find it though.
Yep.
Oh, tongue
Nice
is landed.
tongue there.
Yeah, Falstad goes down. That was an insane tongue from
Protected.
Vintech. Teammate goes forward to try and get the gems, but will be in danger a little bit. Cleanse comes out from them as we do see them run away to the best of their abilities, take a sip from the well. And without the Falstad, Yimek's in a lot of trouble. There's no gust to peel them away. Divine Shield comes out. However, are they going to be able to escape? Or a good Chen barrel.
What a beautiful peel there from Chen. Like, he saved all of it.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be the way that they can do that. However, Falstad up in 6 seconds. Boss is being claimed. And that means there's still gust, but no barrel for this boss play. Zelius very far forward. Tongues once again landing onto them. No Divine Shield means that Uther is almost guaranteed to go down. And the red team can either look to go back to boss or just try and extend this advantage in another way.
AFK has to pay real fast to negate the value from the boss, I feel. If they pay real fast, Sylv can't really commit in the top push. But instead they went for the camp. And a defense top, I guess.
Yeah, so we do have Chen now zoning around in the mid lane. Oh, a Gorge onto Jahaka, although without the Uther, are they going to be able to get this stun once again? A little bit too early. They need to wait a second for that. Boat comes out though, and as Caldador comes to the peel, Vintech's in a lot of danger. That will be a kill, however. I think the best part of that kill is that 15 gems have been lost from the blue team. The red team need to defend this top lane ASAP.
Yeah, the kill also gave you a free defense on the top lane. But blue team is instead looking at the bot wall. Or a kill first. Wow.
Look,
Well
Chen
played.
falls very low here. Linux comes to try and do a bit of peel. Gets a lot of damage onto Facto. Barrels away from the Stormbolt. Keck is OP, everybody. Keck is OP.
The lanes are so pushed, so Neo Unity I feel should take double camp and then just defend this. They will still have at least one more pay unless they lose gems this game.
Red team do pay in their terms top. And now they have to clear out these waves. It looks like they're sort of almost ignoring bot lane now. It's going to be a long time till boss, 3 minutes 40. But should they find another hook or two, they might be able to pressure something. As the hook comes out, lands onto this, and this gets blown completely apart. Wailing Arrow committed as well, but Gorge used on top of it. Gust to peel them away.
Nice, Gus.
Get them. Double kill here. And the red team can try and make some serious noise, but they need to zone away that top lane as best as they can.
But the Yimmick saving the Gorge was what enabled all of that. Like he hooked,
it's
he knew
another
that
hook!
Sylv was... what the hook again?
Caldador in trouble. Has to pop the Avatar. Popping Fresh trying to get that barrel, but doesn't quite use it yet. And red team are looking at this top lane. However, it's taken a long time to get here. Bot lane completely cleared out by those siege giants. Can they open up this top keep at all? Is it just going to be this front wall?
Oof, another hook.
Oh, and
Hook
Uther
machine
not able to
Yimmick.
get there. This is been a solid game on Stitches here from Yimic. And generally good play from AFK for Coco. Not like game number 1, where it just seemed a little bit slipping out of their grasp. We see Beanfish potentially engaged on here, staying mounted for as long as possible. Zelius getting ready with that Benediction. It's going to be a good cleanse onto Beanfish, but the damage is going to be so split here, and the Gust has to be forced. Divine Shield and Keg used onto Chen as the red team retreat. Zelius in trouble. Hook comes out. They look to focus onto this, and that's a great turnaround, but Stitches is in trouble. They're able to take a bite out of Dahaka, restoring their health, and the red team in this chaos are trying to poke back, but they are falling quite low considerably, as this blue team is just relentless, knowing that cooldowns are used so much on the red team. And Chen gets hooked to safety, but Uther may not have the same fate. Oh, there's CC coming out for both teams, and the red team once again are on top.
Win or loss, but Yimic, what amazing performance here.
Yeah, believe in the Stitches, it could be banned for this whole series. Red team not sure what to do with this lead, though. They're so close to level 20, and it might be they try and pick it up, try and pick up this Bruiser camp as well. Not quite feeling like they can end the game, of course. With just Falstad as their main auto-attack damage, Chen as their offlane, it's a little bit tricky.
If Falstad goes bot, they will have enough gems to pay. So they could use level 20 to look for ending after they have camp and pay.
Might be that they just try and push a little bit, but I think you're right. They've got too much to lose right now. They should just try and pick up some of these gems. It's a massive wave bot lane. They definitely can pick up something. Let's pop them fresh. Tries to clear as quick as Chen can, which it's not the most quickest thing.
You even take your own camp here, so that the mid keep is almost secured.
It looks like red team aren't going to go for that. Instead, going directly for a pay where 1 gem is needed. Yimic does find it. Now, waves are pushed out. There's no siege camp in the bot lane, but you're right. There was no mid camp helping the red team. Hook narrowly escaping Brightwing here in the mid lane. And Yimic still looks to position forward. We have the hungry Stitches level 20 talent. So they are trying to just keep gorging as many as they can, but equally it's that 75% slow afterwards that's going to help them lock down whatever target. As we see, Dahaka used, instantly burrowed.
The combo with Gust is great as well, with the both 20 ult upgrades from Stitches and Falstad.
Oh, Dahaka missing their isolation. A little bit desperate there, it felt like, as Cook almost connects with Sylvanas. But this red team, every time they don't have a hook, they're playing very passive. They don't want to burn their cooldowns, with Hook potentially being offline. Oh, but Gorge comes out. I don't know if... Oh, it's second. Who's going to be the target? It could well be Sylvanas.
None.
Stun not quite there. The damage not quite connecting. The red team slipping out of their grasp of this lead. Level 20 is now here for the blue team.
But that's why you take the camp, so you have the spell power and you can really force it here. Now I think blue can still defend and even look for a 20 fight. Mid won't do anything, top won't do anything anyway. Now Neo Unity has to look for the play.
Yeah, boss has now just respawned, so red team can go for that if they want. They have Keg, they have Gust, they have Divine Shield upgraded, so fighting in a very small place is absolutely perfect for them. Should
Retreat, take camps, let the map push. Like, looking for the hook here is so risky. Because if they get counter engaged. Yeah. But the lanes are so pushed, they need to fix the lanes first, I feel, near Unity. If not, the pay gets you nothing.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. Much like what the red team just had themselves. Now, they are looking for this top boss. They know that people were just in the bot lane. They also know that turn-in is available, however, for the blue team. They're not looking for the defense there.
Great play. Great play from AFK here. You take the boss and you let Neo Unity pay. And if they pay, it's absolutely zero value.
Well, this boss is also one of the end conditions of the red team. They are very far away from their own turn. And Yimic looking for the Gorge. They have the movement speed, able to dodge the isolation. Isolation actually cancelled. Benediction also popped. Can they get the stun? Double stun very quickly, but Vinteg's able to burrow a little bit. Zelius not got another stun for a little while as the silence, the Wailing Arrow lands onto only Stitches here. and a lot of commitment. Oh, look! Onto Facto,
Wow.
and it's a great follow-up. Divine Shield as well, just for the sake of stopping Muradin from any interruption. The pay hasn't even been considered by the blue team.
Yeah.
They were holding on to hope they could defend this boss, but now it looks like the red team can pressure core.
I was gonna say that the not paying lost them the game, but that's not true. Jimmick, he did this by himself. The hook's just too much to handle.
Yeah, as we now see, will Stitches be banned out for the rest of this series? That is the question. Is Johanna going to be let through? AFK for Coco win game number 2 in this best of 5 grand final.
So amazing to see that AFK used their more passive playstyle to their benefit by picking something like a Stitches. Like it really fit their style.
Yeah, really well done here by them. Samu, how did you feel that game went here?
Yeah, just AFK for Coco knew the win condition, knew that they needed to look for those hooks, get the pickoffs with those, and they did a great job with it. And I think there's not much Neo Unity could do with the draft against it. Like when you see someone getting hooked, you need to engage on it, because they will use all their cooldowns on it, and maybe you can trade one for one. Well, it wasn't really what we saw coming out there from the side of New Unity. They were mostly focused on trying to save that one target, which got hooked. And then they just got hooked 20 seconds later again.
Yeah, I mean, that is how it happens. You have to try and force those engagers, but that is equally what Uther was there for. If you try to force him, Uther quickly gives you a stun, and the combo just works without the Stitches hook. Really good draft here from the red team altogether. I mean, I think it's one of those ones that there could have been a few things to maybe consider. Sometimes you think that last pick maybe needs to be a Thrall or something that can be survivable, but also aggressive rather than Sylvanas, which can get blown up. We did see a couple of kills onto them. It's only 12 kills in total, but it's enough for AFK for Coco to get that advantage.
Yeah, especially out of those 12 kills, there were 5 on the Muradin. So it was really hard for Neo Unity to step up anywhere on the map as soon as Muradin got taken down.
I mean, they did obviously use Avatar to survive a number of times, but it's those times without Avatar. It's a much longer cooldown than the whole combo of AFK for Coco. So Neo Unity have picked first pick, and I think it's one of those questions. What is AFK for Coco? What map do you think they're going to Isness?
Oof. I've been wrong so far, but if they play this patient game, maybe they could go for a map where you can delay objectives and such. But I got no clue. Not after the first miss. Oh, gardening, great for exactly that. Yes. So play slow. If Neo Unity overcommits to objective, you want to have some macro pressure, so you can play to delay objective. And if not, you can sneak in free ones.
I'm predicting an Alterac pass here from AFK for Coco. I do wonder if that's going to be where they think about it. You know, potential to get those hooks. If Stitches is banned, they might go for that Johanna instead, or even a Nubrak. Top of things if they really want to go there. But it's, you know, having the objective help them push, but not having to push themselves too much, which I think, you know, they're struggling a little bit with, it feels like today. Having that thought to just go, right, let's go, let's get some kills. Let's get some structures even.
Yeah, but they sort of swapped roles between the two games. With the making plays and being a bit more proactive.
For sure.
So let's see who has the confidence to do it on Volskaya.
Well, yes, as we say goodbye to Mixin, we say hello to Volskaya Foundry. And this is one of those maps where the later game objectives can be impactful, but it has to be those later game ones, which we do see early on, not quite doing the same amount. That's why they're doing a little bit of a change to it, potentially. And whenever that PTR patch hits, we'll rejoice. I do wonder what we'll see picked up. Of course, we have seen that Chromie a couple of times for AFK for Coco. Do you think that this is a map to be picked up on, Samu?
Sorry, what?
The
was-
Chromie. Do you think this is where we're going
Uh,
for?
I think Chrome is fine on Volskaya Foundry, generally speaking. It also denies, or is a counter to Mephisto, who shines on a map like Volskaya, where the late game is pretty important.
Yeah, something that AFK for Coco have picked up a few times is Nazebo. Do we smell Nazebo, Isness?
If you're ever gonna play him, I guess it's on Tomb board here. You have a great opportunity to play for the late game. But if a team is going Nasibo, I want it to be AFK with how they have been patient.
Well, of course, they had that Chen banned out in game number 1. And that Falstad also was banned game number 1. Let through in game number 2. Neo Unity perhaps paying the price. Are we going to see a change of bans once again? Of course, first pick is now over to the side of Neo Unity. That Anduin was banned out game 2. I think they'll once again look to try and pick it up here. It's first pick.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see what the teams refer to. It's also Volskaya Foundry. One of those maps where you often see Stevadas coming in there, split push in there, just so you actually can do something structure-wise in the early game. Because the protector is so weak. But there's also, of course, the option for heroes like Sujin or Vala to just come in and try to stack out the protector, giving the first protector to your opponent and then trying to get stacks off of it. And then you're good to go into the later stages of the game with a lot of stacks.
Also, heroes like Falstad and Leoric gets a bit better, because you know that you almost always reach 20. Both of them having game-winning ult, so the stackers and the late-game heroes should be a priority.
Yeah, Lyric also comes with the additional benefit that he's very good into the protector, just clearing it with his W.
Yeah, it's so tough to say. I mean, don't know what I'm looking through Neo Unity's heroes, and obviously we've seen that Orphea banned out. She can do decent chunking away at a protector on those protector points with the Eternal Feast, but I don't know if that's actually what we're going to see here. In terms of those sort of mega stacking heroes, it doesn't seem like they play it too much. That Tychus has been banned out every single time by AFK for Coco. And I wonder if it's just going to be the same.
Sagara is definitely an option though. Looking at the heroes.
On Neo Unity.
Yeah.
Not seeing Neo Unity play Zagara.
Play it once!
Let's start. Never too late.
Yes, they have played it once, you're right, Sammy. As well as Artanis. Well, here we are. Game number 3. And first pick is this time to Neo Unity. Are they going to use it to their advantage? Trying to snipe that Anduin? That is the question.
Let's see.
If you're going for something like Leoric, it can be a good early pick. But in general, I don't think Anduin needs to be that highly prioritized on Volskaya.
Yeah.
It's just the same bands again.
It's the same band so far, Isness. So far.
And now?
Still the same band so far, but I think this is where it switches up. I think they're probably going to want that.
Yeah, here it switched up.
Is it Stitches? Is it Chen? Is it Falstad? What will it be? The second bit from the Unity.
You don't ban Stitches on Volskaya, I feel. Just take some walls down and you're fine. But he played amazing, Yimek. Chen.
Going to be that Chen ban. I didn't like having the keg that got them a few more picks, I think, above just the hooks.
And
Chen is also
amazing peel.
amazing. Yeah, Chen is also amazing on this map, so not too surprised to see him being removed. So you don't have to do that much soaking and sideline defending against bruiser camps or something like this, so Chen immediately gets better just for being a very good team fit here. There's the tank is bad again.
Am I demanding too much if I just want to see a Malphal tank here?
I think so. I
Is
think
that
there's
too
one
much
team that plays
transparent?
it, and that's you, Isness. I think it's your team that plays the Malfield tank. It's a lovely composition. It's
then
fantastic to watch.
So instead we get Anduin Murden, I guess, from Neo Unity.
I'm going to get the Sonya Sylvanas this
Wow,
time, taking that Sylvanas away, and Sonya, of course, being Pop and Fresh's hero. That's not Yrel, not Chen. But Dahaka, I mean, Samu, if only we had someone who was experienced on Dahaka here. What's your opinions on Dahaka on Volskaya Foundry?
No, don't do it. It's
so
not.
It
there we
has
go.
to be his worst.
It,
It has
it
to be
does.
bottom 2-3 maps, right?
Yeah, I feel like Volskaya and Ultra are the two maps which feel worst for the Haka. But we're gonna see that Murden, as you mentioned, and we also see the Falstad being picked away by Neo Unity. Not giving it
Yeah, I
over
think
to
it's
the
partly a deny pick, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, they took the Sylvanas, so they'll take the Falstad. Everything getting swapped around here. Blaze being banned out. Seems like AFK Kadeko feel like they have their number. But is this going to be another tank ban? Trying to withdraw that hero pool.
We haven't seen a single Diablo, so I don't think they have to worry too much about that.
From what I see so far, I would like AFK Foko could just go for the aggressive comp. Like, we leap in and go into your backline and try to kill you there.
Yeah, leap Anduin and force a gust at least, or get kills. I like that. You could leap and arrow to deny the gust.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Stitches banned out, it's most likely going to be an ETC pickup once again here for AFK for Coco. A lot of people do have been banning out. God, I'm wrong every time. It's fine. I'm wrong every time. A Nubrak Jaina here. And they're leaving that last pick potentially to be a Rhaegar or an Uther or Deckard Cain from Zelius.
Should be a pretty good map for Deckard, right?
Yeah, it certainly can be. He's a little... he struggles with the aggression of a Nubrak sometimes. So he's not as mobile. Certainly can be good. As the last two picks here are going to be Deathwing and Orphea.
Maybe it's just Ufa again for the side of FK for Coco with the Divine Shield, having the 2 arrow and the armor.
Yeah, they don't really have many stuns otherwise, but against Deathwing, you don't really need too many stuns either. And it could be they're now thinking about something crazy to try and counter this Deathwing. So this is an off-lane Deathwing. They might go into a more melee phase, depending on what's picked up by Zelius here. And who's going to be that Uther?
Great call, Samu. I didn't expect it, but nice one.
Yeah, I think
mean-
the Deathwing is the big wildcard here for the sort of Neo Unity. It's gonna be interesting to see how much he can do with the Deathwing.
Also make space for the Orphea, so Factor should be able to give him more place in the 5v5s with the Murden Deathwing frontline. And it's easy for AFK to sort of overcommit with the stuns, and the pull denies all of it. So with great positioning from Spoon, I think Anduin works great here.
Of course, predictions are up and available for you to get your predictions in at home. And, well, I just can't not back the Zelius Uther. I'm a big fan of Uther being played. I just love to see it. I'm going to be putting in a few thousand behind that, but, yeah.
See how it goes as we do see the end in Murden again on the side of Neo Unity, and this time they also picked up the Orphea.
Well, let's get into game number 3 now on Volskaya Foundry. We have Facto on the behind Deathwing. They are on Orphea. We have this on Falstad, Vintex on Deathwing, Spoon on Anduin, and Calzador on Murden.
Celia's on his Uther, Pop and Fresh is Sonya this game, Linux is Jaina, Jimmick couldn't get Stitches, so it's a noob, and Beanfish is the Sylv.
So we do have the overwhelming affliction here from Sylvanas. Now that is just purely going to be working onto Muradin. Percentage damage as it does not affect Deathwing as he cannot be slowed. So we don't get percentage damage against him. Still, percentage damage on slow targets when you have a Jaina on your team is always going to be effective. It's a case of will Orphea be able to just dance around this red team without a stun coming out from Anubrak and Uther. They may be able to just escape, but out comes the damage. The pull is there for Spoon. And once again, this aggression, when used from the red team, gets negated by that.
I like the idea of having Falstad bot because he's fine into Sonya, but it's Cuban Falstad, so I'm not sure if they actually need to put Deathwing bot or not, or Falstad won't stack until objectives.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. Of course, you know, we've seen Linux go for the auto attack one every time, and they get a fair number of stacks simply because they do spend a bit of time in lanes where heroes aren't. But Sonya will be having a little trouble against the ranged hero. However, Fresh seems fairly unfazed by it.
Blue Neo Unity sort of mistimes the top camp. I feel either you take it 2 times, one directly and one after a few seconds on objective. With that said, they can delay AFK on this invade here.
Yeah, it's a huge 5-man invade, but it does mean that they miss out on a little bit of XP around the map. Still, they will be able to rotate around, probably pick up a few of those minions anyway. And Yemek burrows in, finds a stun onto the Calzador. Calzador will have to leap away, but without any further tools to lock him down, he was absolutely fine for the time being. I love this from AFK. Being able to claim both turrets, or Sonya in the mid lane is in a little bit of trouble. Yemek comes in with the burrow to peel, but I think Sonya still goes down, and first blood goes over to Neo Unity.
Great catch there, but if you're gonna die, this was a pretty okay timing for it. They don't lose too much and they can still force 4v4 before Falstad can join.
Calzador retreats, but I think the red team wants this, knowing Muradin's so low. This comes in the sides. Zealous is going to be falling low, but that is a healer that they can have. Still, they drop down, and one turret is used, and it's a 2-for-1 here in favor of Neo Unity.
I like the initiative to go for the 4v4 when you see that Falstad can't play in time. They just need to be a bit more decisive. AFK, but I like the idea. Could easily have made them snowball the game and get a push with a noob Sylv.
Yeah, certainly, especially with Sylvanas as well. But we do have this Protector being channeled by the red team here. A little bit behind, but they can look to try and pick up something. Sonya trying to put a bit of macro pressure on the bot lane while soaking those minions. Dodging out on Falstad's Hammerang. Of course, they've also gone for this boomerang, so that's spell armor reduction. With an Orphea looking to chomp through, getting stacks as well.
Oh, look at top lane. This is a wall here. And I don't think Neo Unity can react in time. Great play.
Yeah, Zealous also here to stun the Deathwing. Or at least attempt to. Now, it gives themselves movement speed, of course, with that level 4 talent to really rotate around. Yeah, Orphea has to
show who's the boss.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, but the stun comes out onto Calzador. Calzador a little bit of trouble. They still have Dwarf Toss available. Out comes the Cataclysm from Deathwing. That's just going to zone the red team to this side of the objective. However, look at the pressure they're putting onto Deathwing, trying to reduce those armor plates still. Healing Beacon now used for them. Yemek in a little bit of trouble. Poppenfresh trying to find something. Cleanse comes out onto them, but Muradin, the one who goes down. Poppenfresh spins away for the best part. And with this double turret, with the Sylvanas Mercenary Queen, the blue team were in danger, but Sylvanas does go down as they just stayed in the team fight a little too long.
And I think what you saw in this team fight is just what amazing pick the Deathwing was. Like, no real percent damage. He can just eat all the stuns and do damage meanwhile. It's
Yeah.
great pick that they saw that.
Of course, they have gone for this sort of more melee build anyway, rather than anything sort of breath-wise. So now we see the blue team going to be able to claim this objective here.
I don't think so. They can delay for 10 if they want AFK. But they choose to give. I thought they would contest because bot and top was pushing. And they were slightly ahead in XP.
I think yeah, I don't know what it was. Maybe Anubrag felt without mana. Maybe they felt like it was already, the positioning advantage was the side of the blue team. But well, this Protector has got less than a wall. And the macro pressure hasn't yet added up.
Because this is Dragonshire all over again.
Yeah, run it
Need
down mid.
patience.
Don't get much value. As we do have Leap Sonya available, but the blue team are collapsing. However, the rest of the red team are looking to try and collapse onto the one target that they can't really do anything against.
This is a counter-engage top, I feel. Instead should fly and look for something.
Deathwing pops the Cataclysm looking for it. Popping Fresh is zoning on that side, but out comes that big old Fear. Gust as well. The red team are in a little bit of a corner, but Cocoon comes out onto Orphea, and Sonya's going to look for the lead. The lead coming out a little bit later. No, doesn't happen just yet. As nobody is focused. Falstad is on the side. Poppin' Fresh looking to peel. Maybe Poppin' Fresh was just waiting for that leap of faith from Anduin to pull someone out of danger, but they just were holding it for so long. I thought it was going to try and lock someone down in this ring of fire. We do see lockdown against the Anubrag. Divine Shield saving the day, but Poppin' Fresh now popping the lead just for the peel. The cleanse comes out as well, but Deathwing putting out so much damage onto the rest of the team. This red team falls solo, and Jaina does go down.
Great save there from Celias, but they split a bit, so Jaina gets caught. But amazing Divine Shield there. Like that plus the heal saved the other three.
As we do have blue team have a slight advantage here. Level 12 to 11. Red team now picking up their fortification camp, knowing that that's a really good tool for them. However, this is a real tough spot for them. It feels like they're struggling to find those pickoffs that got them such a lead in game number 2. Not just because of the Anduin pull, but because one of the targets is basically not a target for them to take down. Deathwing so untouchable here.
I think you have to probably cocoon the Murden and jump the backline with the leap.
Yes, we do see Orphea down, focus down, and Nubrak and Jaina goes down, even though so long they were in there. Beanfish equally falling low, and Poppin' Fresh without this leap may well be going down too. Cataclysm comes out, the body block's not quite there, and Poppin' Fresh
Amazing. I love that.
Taken down by Kalzador.
But you don't pull. But great jump. So, what's this? 1/4 bot and 1 top maybe?
I think they may well just get the bottom one.
The top is automatic from the camp.
I think that's going to take a long time to get there, as we see Uther running around here trying to make space, but I think they eventually do fall. There's a Nubrak burrows in. Kalzador in a lot of trouble. That armor reduction does cost them, and it's a 1-for-1 here. It's not even a bot fort, as we see Yimek constantly pressuring onto this blue team. Vintex in a little bit of trouble, of course. No CC means that they are able just to walk away.
They did get the 1 pop though, but now it's time for AFK to get the push bot.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant the whole fort. I thought you meant the whole fort was going down.
No. I meant top wall, and if they committed bot fort, they could have gotten that as well. Yeah,
I mean,
slight miscommunication.
Fair amount of pressure in the mid lane as well, but we are seeing this bot lane. Beanfish falls low, Cocoon has to come out to try and get there. Linux gets caught by the gust, but Zelius is here to save the day. Red team all alive here after saving a little bit of map pressure, but still, blue team are 2 levels ahead. Well, level and a half, let's call it.
Now that Gust is down, AFK should look for the leap here. Like there, 4-man leap. They have to go for the play. They only have like 20 seconds before 16. Ish. But beautiful that Neo Unity backs off and play for 16.
Yeah, I mean, they
Great
have this
shot
Orphea
caller.
bite build. It's only got 26 stacks at the moment. This is sometimes the hard thing to do with Orphea is get those stacks. A little bit harder to get than anything else. You have to last hit them with the chomp. Yeah, they have that level 16 now. The double pull is going to mean that they are very safe from a lot of engagers.
And Murden jump together with Light Bomb might make for good plays on the Sylve Jaina.
As red team rotate around. They don't have level 16 yet, but they do have a camp. Yimeka's going to have to stun Council. They go for the interrupt, they go for the cocoon. Falstad is focusing on the leap in the backline. Anduin, a lot of trouble. Silence comes out as well, but this is a talented down fight, and the Divine Shield has to be used onto Sonya.
Great idea there from AFK, but Falstad didn't get hit by the silence. If not, that was a double kill.
Yeah, the fact that the red team are out of here is a decent sign. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in. They now have to basically give this fort. They're all so low on health, and Uther can't put them back up. I say they have to give this fort. They're not pressuring.
You can always count on teams not pressuring buildings, so they can play for 16 now instead. A small gift from Neo Unity.
They won't have heroics for another 15 seconds. 5-4 leap to come back. A lot of playing around this protector too.
Yeah, look how Neo Unity overcommits top, which makes Sonya be able to catch 16 for free, and now they can look for a 5v4 before Falstad flies in.
Yeah, Cocoon used on Moradin as well. Facto potentially in a bit of danger. Deathwing coming down. As the pull comes out, Poppin' Fresh was looking for it. Doesn't manage to find it, but it's a huge eternal feast. Uther goes down. Yimek down to 300 HP. And Linux as well is out of position as we see Calzador finish the job there. Light Bomb being used, catches onto Poppin' Fresh. Jaina gets popped in the meantime. And they just got completely punished there. Good Gust to catch out Poppin' Fresh further. And it's a 4-0 as Neo Unity showing a lot of expertise and prowess with the Orphea.
Would you push keep here or all 3 forts? Transparent.
I think with 15 coming round, they're even Talonteers. Go get some minions. Go get some extra XP. I think, getting keep is nice if you've got the composition for it. But Falstad Orphea Deathwing, it ain't this keep taking composition.
I feel that at least one or all 3 forts. But now they play for 20. I mean, they're so far ahead, 2 levels ahead, so this play is absolutely fine.
They have Orphea in the Protector. We're going to see it rotate around. 14-minute Protector ain't going to do a lot of work either.
Has taken control of a Protector.
Look for the fight. AFK.
Yeah, they have to. They have all heroics. Protector is here, which isn't too scary, especially if it's only got 1 person in it. See a Nubrak chucked out, but this might be good for the red team. It might be a free engage as they could cocoon onto Falstad. It seems like it's just going for the defense against the Protector. Yimek, of course, this is a little bit of a saucy situation. Beanfish able to avoid a lot of poke. Everyone can tap well and try and re-engage here. Deathwing comes out with a Cataclysm.
I feel that Poppin needs to spam his ult. It's a 1-minute cooldown. You just have to look for it.
Yeah, but they were looking for the Anduin group up to kill against Anduin once again against Muradin. They can try and look onto Facto now, who is going to have a lot of work. Oh, it's a good stun from Zelius, but I think with that Gust, they may well be safe. Yeah, Deathwing falls, and the red team with full alive, they can maybe try and get themselves some structure damage. Still, no minion wave here. They do have Sylvanas.
And I think
they're looking at the camp instead.
But I think Poppin is stream sniping. He must have heard that. The ult call.
Yes.
No
well,
other explanation.
Fortunately, the 20-second delay maybe giving that a little bit of a problem. But yeah, absolutely. Great use of that. They are waiting every single time for Anduin. Anduin seems to be the target for Poppin. But I do agree. If they pop it earlier, there's a chance that they get a couple of kills, even with an Anduin pull. It's just forcing the issue a little bit sooner. But maybe it's all getting in the mind games. Level 20 is here now. We have upgraded Light Bomb, the Rewind, the Mighty Gust, Wind Tunnel, and of course the monster within. That Eternal Feast upgrading and just popping so much damage out for her.
Give the camp, please, AFK. Play for 20. So that we can get some exciting 20 fights.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Poppin go for the Ariat Crater in the past, but it often has just put a target on Poppin's head. So I do hope we see the Ignore Pain this time.
You could use it as a big brain play versus the Gust, but it can also kill the whole team. Your own team, that is.
Samu in the chat says he's thinking it might be good for locking in Deathwing into the fight. Well, could
Is
be.
true.
But obviously,
Then you get gusted into the crater wall.
I just think it's a free packed up meal basically for Orphea's Eternal Feast. Even if you use it to engage with Jaina. Anyway, as level 20s are creeping around for red team, blue team are pushing in this top keep. Still very passive from them, and you know, obviously they feel a little bit tricky having this lack of easy structure damage.
Yeah, but you have Gust and 20. Like, now you give an even fight on objective in a okay. Like, not the best Gust area either.
We do have Ignore Pain for Sonya, so 60% less damage in those team fights when they've gone very, very deep.
Cold Snap 20 from Jaina. And Cocoon upgrade, what?
Whoa! Whoa! Yeah, Yimek! Yimek is known in AFK for having a few crazy choices, going Haymaker a lot, but Cocoon upgrade? That is bonkers.
Versus Shogun, I feel that you can pick it, but here, use it on Murden, remove the tank from the whole team fight, and pray and hope you kill the backline.
I think this is the thing, right? Because they're using it on Muradin and then going for the backline, keeping someone in the cocoon for longer is often beneficial. Whereas obviously a lot of times, sometimes the cocoon target is the target, and which is why an extension of the time isn't often beneficial. But we'll see how it plays out in this, as we have the bottom objective being channeled. It's only 19 minutes into the game, and no keeps have gone down yet. Still, the blue team are slowly pressuring that top lane. And that is what we could be seeing from Falstad as the red team claim a fortification camp.
Great vision plays from Falstad their top lane, but now that he shows, I think AFK has to look for the fight. So that Falstad can't just push in mid-top and get a free keep eventually.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they went mid at all really here. I think they should have just kept going. Obviously, red team now rotating around. Sensible to do leaving now, but mid top keep is being pressured a little bit, and the red team are now looking to get their own camp pushing in that lane.
Medicine camp is... Sorry.
No, you're right. This mid camp is now being fought over.
But that's so dangerous for AFK. Wind tunnel here is just GG. You sort of have to give it, I feel.
Yeah, wind tunnel is just
AFK would commit.
It's a huge factor in these fights, and the geometry around the support camp is bad. However, blue team are now split. There's this not spotted by the reds. However, they need to pull the trigger. You're absolutely right. There is a timer on them essentially. And so much macro pressure is being put in by Neo Unity.
Oh, it's Wailing Arrow upgrade as well. I didn't notice. So
Definitely.
they want a
Wow.
one-shot. Sylve Arrow into Ring of Frost with Leap can just... They can kill who's ever inside before Leap can even... or Pull can even go off.
Yeah, Deafening Blast famously very hard to hit because the actual zone that it has upgraded is very small.
But look at the confidence from AFK here. Like, they invade the camp into the Falstad, but they overcommit. Blue team sees that and tries to get the top
This
push.
may well be
I
a
don't
top
think
key.
it's a full board.
There's a lot of
they
minions
don't
here.
react. No! Falstad, my friend. Have to push there. Because Gust is such a low cooldown, he can stay. Gust, fly away if need be.
Well, there is a upgraded Divine Shield if needs be. Cocoon
Anduin.
comes out onto Anduin. Anduin is in there.
Leap.
The Crypt Wave getting it. Out comes super damage, but the Light Bomb goes through. Anduin stays alive for a bit longer, and it's a turret that finishes it off. Out comes the Divine Shield, lands onto a couple, but Quebec falls low. So much damage through them. It's a 1-for-1 trade as Deathwing sustains for so long, but it's not long enough. This healing camp, the double turrets from AFK for Coco put out a significant amount of damage, and it's 2-for-1 right now, but can they make anything out of it? Falstad is able to fly top and get a keep. Muradin gets rooted and gets stunned. A triple kill for AFK for Coco.
He didn't need to fly. They keep Fallon, now he has to back. That's time for the wall before Falstad even comes. This might be game. If they want to commit, they have Sonya on core. They don't have a nuke though, but 4v2.
Yeah, well, I mean, out of these last two matches, seeing people commit onto core has been something that we have not seen a lot of. However,
Yeah, but
Zealous
here,
is...
look at Uber's positioning. No! Not now either. Like, he positioned for it, Celias.
He was just ready, just in case. But the call was bring it back. It's a keep for a keep, but one team has still got a fort in that top lane. That pressure is going to be a lot. There's a catapult even in this mid stage. Red team looking to maybe try and get Protector.
I think top camp to deep push and then objective.
Red team's
You wanna stop the top push so that you have space.
Red
But
team
what?
backing
They all...
away. Well, they have no vision, of course. They're not sure what's going to be coming in. Keeping it safe, keeping it secure. Blue team, though, are so much closer to that Protector, and a level 24 Protector is nothing to sniff at.
Yeah. I don't think you give the objective this late. Like, the healing camp and top camp won't do much compared to minute 24 objective.
Yeah, they do have a little bit of damage, but it's not like it's super scaling. It's not a auto attack Valor with 300 stacks and all Gambit stacks still available. They're not completely shredding through. And Vintex and Calzador. I wonder if they'll put Anduin in the Protector to keep him safe. Falstad, of course, has gas if needs be.
Save it as a bunker, I feel.
Already, 30% of its HP drained by this red team. Look at that, chunking through the keep. And if there was any advantage that AFK for Coco had with this bottom keep, it's certainly lost now. Oh, as they walk away.
You thought that transparent.
I think a lot of things, Isness, and it turns out a lot of them are wrong. Of course, the red team do have pressure against them in the top lane. They've had to have this camp push in. But the fact that it's level 24 Protector.
If you get this kind of advantage, you don't want to give the other team another chance to come back. Like, now, it will be an even fight once again. Whoever wins it wins the game, right?
And red team are looking to pressure this core. But not that brave. Not brave enough to directly do it. Obviously wanting
As
to finish
soon
off
they
this
have to do
protect.
that. Yeah, but soon they have to do that. With how far behind they are, if they don't get the next objective, they sort of have to go for a all-in Hail Mary core play.
Yeah, 26 minutes in. These minions and catapults do a lot of damage. They are behind in structures significantly.
With a Sylva noob, Sonya, Jaina, they have such a great siege. They should just walk up, I feel. They need mid-bot forts down, or they will lose eventually. It's enough to have one fight over objective while the lanes push, and they would get screwed. So I love this from AFK.
There is no chance we get another objective in this game. You know, the protectors only just despawned. We are worried about bot keep, it seems, as people Hearthstone. I feel like if you were worried about top keep, bottom keep, you should have gone there a lot earlier.
You just push your own keep. But this is what's so interesting. The decision making and shot calling matter so much, like the whole flow of the game. And I think so far, Neo Unity has been more crisp with the calls. Still room to throw though.
Definitely is. We have seen some team fights out of this AFK for Coco team. They have the Bulwark of Light, of course. That AoE Divine Shield can completely turn team fights should the red team be bunched up. But the red team just...
Great tool versus the Gust 20, by the way, the Bulwark of Light.
Hmm? Sorry, what did you say, Isness?
Just a great pick, the Uther 20 Divine Shield versus Wind Tunnel.
Yeah, because if you all get stuck in that one corner, it completely allows you to walk out of it. Red team still playing around. They have to be so careful. Bot lane now getting shoved out from Falstad. They need to either go for it now, or they are going to lose a middle keep, I think.
I need them AFK to play to win and not to play to lose as slow as possible. So they have to take the gamble here with the state of the map, I think.
The Muradin has been focusing here. Spoon getting ready to pull them out, but Deathwing has gone very deep in. Out comes the Gust. Zelius also feared away. Ring of Frost comes out. Wailing Arrow only hits onto Muradin. The red team popping their heroics, but Leap is still available as it comes out onto that Muradin. Muradin falls lower and lower. Bulwark of Light onto the two front line. Facto goes down. The red team have a kill, but that is all it is. It's just one kill as Deathwing ascends to the skies. The red team now have to think, what do they want to do? Zelia says support camp. Imek says mid fort. And Falstad is saying, well, I'll get your mid keep.
I mean, even push core here. Trade bot and start pushing bot. You have double catapults. That way you only lose max support.
Yeah,
I mean,
Fort is not doing anything here. Midfort does nothing. You have zero structures. It doesn't matter where you have, as Calzador goes on to Beanfish, but this means that potentially we could see a turnaround from the red team. Perhaps it's all a delayed tactic as Linux is here as well. Beanfish able to get a little bit of damage onto Calzador. However, Muradin now cocooned in this web-weaved cocoon. Linux not sure which target to go on to as Spoon backs away. Leap comes out, and that is exactly what they were hoping for. Light Bomb is going to keep them alive for a little bit longer. Mighty Gust kills Sylvanas. Zelius in a lot of trouble. Jaina goes down as well, and Neo Unity find the fight they wanted after a last moment Light Bomb.
Yeah, the fight in that small chokehold is just too dangerous to take. Like, you've been playing patiently as AFK. That's not the spot where you look for it, I feel. But nice execution from Neo Unity.
Yeah, able to get that finishing blow here. We now have them finally go towards the core. 30 minutes in, level
Only
26.
30 minutes.
Yemek trying to take down
on
Deathwing as quick as they can. I mean, the minions are only just arriving. And we can see that the slowness of the siege pressure without Falstad. There is a cocoon if they really wanted to, but catapults are here, minions are here, and now the core gets disintegrated. GG, well played. Game number 3 goes over to Neo Unity.
This was like suffering with extra steps for AFK. And if they're listening, for God's sake, start going for the gambles.
Yeah, it
They
is.
they have to do that.
Samu, how did you feel Neo Unity performed in this game?
Ooh, I mean, especially in the early game, I think the death rate was a very big point for the Unity, and I think that just was the entire game like this. I think they FK for Coco did not use or was not able to get rid of the death ring, and death ring was just able to do pretty much what he wanted to do inside the backline, and that was really hard for FK for Coco to deal with. Especially those fears after level 10 have been very stressful.
Yeah, I mean, it was just all about trying to get some sort of pressure, and I'd love to have seen more of it from FKK. They had a noob, they had Sylvanas. You can just try and get structures. If you have any minions behind you, early game, late game, whenever it is, get some structures. And I want to see them
Without
take that
minions.
lesson into the next game.
If you have a noob and Sylph, you never need the minions. But for me, it's even more than getting push when they can. Just commit to team fight sometimes. Like when you see someone showing, go for the 5v4, even 5v5s. If you fall this far behind, you have to take risks.
Well, Samu, you said that every game has been a 3-1 in the Division 4 Cup.
Except for one.
Except for what?
Except for
Will
one.
we have another exception? Or will Neo Unity be taking this home in the next game?
I mean, somehow when we look at the maps, maps this game is serious, we do see whoever picked the map lost it. And with FK for Coco going for first pick, we do see Neo Unity with the next map choice. And if we go
So it's
by
2-2.
pattern, it should be a win by FK for Coco. But let's see, I think it just comes down to which map Neo Unity goes for. If they pick a map they're comfortable on and they can play their drafts into FK for Coco, they can make it a 3-1.
Yeah, there certainly
They
is
should
a.
just continue going with this.
What is this? Where do you think?
They should just go for big as big map as possible, considering every time they have been able to go for the macro plays, they have won. While AFK won with the Stitches pick on a more... Yeah, they seem to prefer that kind of pace of the game, while New Unity should look for a big map, get small advantages, because they know how to exploit.
Well, the maps left are Alterac, Braxis, Garden, and Sky. And it looks
Sky,
like we will be
amazing.
going to Sky Temple. Yeah, and I agree here. You know, obviously Neo Unity have put out a lot of early game pressure as well. And if you're able to get early structure damage, then you are always going to be ahead on Sky Temple. So we'll see how it goes here.
The snowball on Sky is just amazing, and for what the Unity was able to do so far, just getting those structure damage in from time to time, and the objectives, it's just so strong on Sky Temple to get those forts and take a tower or two with a little sideline push and stuff like this. It feels very valuable on this map, and it can definitely give them the edge here over AFK for Coco.
Yeah, but then you need to change the bans. You can't ban variant Tychus on Sky, considering what has happened in previous games. You should ban things like Falstad, Sylv. Like if it's variant Tychus, they can just get out macroed again, I feel.
Definitely should be looking for more of their own comfortable micro picks.
But let's hope you're right, Samu, and we can get that game 5.
Yeah, well, of course, after that draft, the ban on the Chen, the ban on the Stitches, maybe the number is up here for AFK for Coco. Or they could maybe have a few more surprises. That Falstad seems to be a big priority for both teams here. And if AFK for Coco get it, they could be ahead. I wonder if we'll see that first pick all banned out early from the side of Neo Unity.
Let's see.
You could trade Falstad.
Go ahead.
You could trade the Falstad for the Sylv. I think either one works on this map. So you could leave both open. Best case scenario, you get both if you want, or just the one you prioritize. And I think it should be Neo Unity not forcing either pick, because they can perform with both.
Well, teams are having a little bit of contemplation time right now. And of course, Sky Temple is a map we don't often see everywhere. But of course, that early game pressure allows those structures, the objectives, to hit on the more important structures quicker. And I do wonder, all of these heroes we're talking about, is there something that's going to come up? That Zagara you were mentioning previously. They've played it only once, but it's very good to pull it out right now. They've also played...
Does AFK play it though?
No. They have played in the semi-finals Samuro on this map.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they do start to prioritize some of those things. And we might see a Dahaka ban if they want to go for that additional external pressure.
Yeah, we definitely also will see one of the globals. I think the Haka and Brightwing also very strong picks on Sky Temple. So
Sky Temple was the game number 4 that AFK for Coco took down for Rumund Era. But they were allowed to get their Johanna, Deckard Cain, Jaina, Tychus, and Samuro. It is a big question whether they get it this time.
Because here we have both teams now in the lobby.
Well, Luca, you can predict your points, of course, once we get into the draft. And you can predict on the team that you think is going to win any point in the draft. But this game number 4 is coming to you very, very quickly. Very, very soon. And it is going to be Sky Temple. Let's see who could possibly be Grand Champions of Division 4. Yeah, Sky Temple, and this is tournament point here for Neo Unity. AFK for Coco need to win this to stay in, to have the chance to come back, but Neo Unity are just one game away, and they have sort of shown to be potentially the more confident team today. AFK for Coco having that one incredible game on Tomb of the Spider Queen with the stitches, but Falstad banned out completely, not even allowed through to the pick phase.
And we also did see that variant being removed again from the side from FK for Coco.
Dahaka gone as well. I'm smelling Samuro. I'm smelling the Samuro. Maybe Neo Unity know about it. Maybe they've been listening into the cast. Maybe they watched, well, they definitely did watch the semi-finals as Calzador was in chat, as we have Johanna banned out though against them. I wonder if it's an early
if you know that the other team doesn't play Samuro, no reason to pick it now. You can pick it in 2-3, I guess.
Yeah, but I'm sure we may have it considered at least for the blue team.
Deny the Sylv. That's what I would like to see.
It's going to be that Tychus has been consistently picked up, and both Beanfish and Linux play it, so we could have it swapped around. And whether that Sylvanas gets prioritized now or does get picked up by Beanfish, it's going to be a bit of a question.
Murd and Sylv, maybe. Murd great for the map, can fight on the temple and jump. Yeah, Anduin.
Anduin Murden. which does seem to be a winning formula for Neo Unity. Samu, do you think this is going to be a confidence enough for them to bring through?
I mean, Ando and Murray are definitely very strong picks, and looking at Tychus, he does not have the biggest range or the most mobility on terms of assassins. So Murder with the light form can definitely go look for an engage on him.
Yeah.
We are going to get the stitches come out from AFK for Coco, but I'm not sure if this is the map for it. Very open, not many narrow pathways to find those hooks in. And on top of that, there is an absolute ticking clock on your core. Those late games don't come as easily like they do on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Still, Deca Kane picked up here now. AFK for Coco too. Isness, how's the confidence feeling for AFK for Coco?
If they're going for this, just pick a CC mage, maybe even KT. They showed that they liked it before, right? That way they can still get the momentum. They feel confident in the stitches. So just some CC so that they can burn Murden.
Yeah, currently
Well-
I see the issue that there's not much follow-up onto the stitches like the last time they played it on Tomb. They had the UFO, they had the KT, and they also had Falsehood with the spell armor reduction for even better burst. So at this time they have Tychus Deca, both not very strong in terms of this instant follow-up onto those hooks. On 60 Deca gets the bonk on the stick, but that's pretty much it what we see in terms of CC after the hook. Already, right now picked up by AFK for Coco.
Yeah, I mean, you can, of course, set some of the traps down while someone's in the gorge. This comes out with the Li Ming. We've not seen it all series. It's finally here. Sylvanas picked up on top of it. And what are these last two picks going to be? That's two squishy ranged assassins. If there was ever a time to potentially pick up the Samuro, it could be now.
Samuro KT, I think, would be quite okay for AFK here. They get the macro, wave clear, and some follow-up to stitches.
Neo Unity's main offlanes are Dehaka and Blaze, both eliminated. We're going to see the Thrall instead in that offlane.
Way worse macro, but good follow-up for stitches in the 5v5s. And good flanking potential with the Sundering if he goes that.
The other offlaners they've picked a couple of times are Sonya, Zeratul, and Malthael. One time Rexar. I don't think this is the Rexar map. I could see Malthael if they really wanted to.
The thing which Shroud provides compared to a lot of other offliners is that he's very strong in the 1v1 against.
Guys, everything I've said about the drafts today has been wrong. I just said it wasn't going to be the Rexar for sure, and they've just picked it up here at the last minute.
It's not really the best map for him because you can easily gank him from the flanks, but on the side of FK for Coco, we don't really see the best flanking team. Like
well,
there's
you
no
say
Genji, Tracer.
So,
I guess there's a Stitches, and Stitches is already enough walking into his face to be threatening with the ganks.
well, as we load into our potentially last match of the night, make sure you get your predictions in, especially if there's a Thrall and you're a Thrall fanatic. Make sure you predict for the red team. Where will you be thinking this game is going, Isness, as we get into the map?
I would prepare for your
It's all about the macro plays for New Unity with the Sylv. So if AFK get some momentum with early hook or something, they can easily start snowballing this.
Well, here for Neo Unity, we do have Vintex on Rexar, Spoon on Anduin, Calzador on Muradin, Facto on Sylvanas. This is Li Ming, and they are the blue team, and they are one game away from this grand final victory.
let your battle.
Celius is on Deckard, Pop and Fresh for all this game. Beamfish KT, Linux, Tychus, and Yimek tries to make this 2-2 with his Stitches pick. But look at bot lane. Wow. Oh my god.
Nowhere close. Zelius the only one, but will they be able to feign aggression of the rest of the red team? And it is enough. Zelius catching the orb as well with their face. And the red team are down a little bit of HP. Yimek goes forward, just tries to scare away this blues. So they've obviously got Sylvanas, Li Ming, which in this 4-4 rotation, wave clear not quite as good as the red team. Oh, hook not quite connecting.
But the rotations are good and the shot calling, so they can still get a small lead even though lacking some wave clear, I feel.
Yeah, Muradin is top. Poppin' Fresh has seen it for quite some time, not able to get the dismount with the chain lightning. This is why Stitches is invading so hard. However, the rest of the red team did not get the memo. Stitches having to back away from the siege camp.
He just went there for a E-stack, I think, and some vision.
Yeah, Savor the
So
Flavor
it's-
here, looking to get some extra regeneration and that percentage damage increase.
Oh, now AFK overcommits mid again, so it's a free clear in the bot lane. Maybe even the last tower, the bot tower. They can finish it.
Hook comes out, lands on de facto. It's a great follow-up. Pull
Yes.
only onto one target, and it was on the wrong one as Sylvanas goes down. First blood here for AFK for Coco. Is this the sign of the times for this game?
Who can doubt Yimmick Stitches?
I mean, I put 10k points in. I'm backing the boy in blue here as we had another hook onto Calzador, but no follow-up this time for the red team.
Look at the mid lane though. Like, Thrall is trying to do a soak, but Rexor is so much faster. So AFK needs to 2 or 3, even 4-man mid. They fall slightly behind in the buildings so
I think
far.
the word that you used, overcommit, is just so like true for what's happening here. We're seeing a lot of 4-man rotations for
Yeah.
the red team. And occasionally on Sky Temple, you do have to split up into a 3-1-1.
You even have KT roaming for globes. Like, he can't get killed anyway, I feel, if you have any vision of the enemy team.
They are looking to put some pressure on this bot lane. Meanwhile, top lane has had more pressure on the red side than the blue. And red team just aren't in position for this objective. Trying to distract something with the bot lane. Oh, it's a good route onto Facto, but it's Poppin' Fresh who's now being pressured. Dodges out on the route
Nice
and the
move.
Storm Bolt. Meanwhile, Li Ming is in trouble. Doesn't manage to find the hook. And the red team are pressing the blues away. But the blues, as we've said before, their macro is just a little bit better and they are in the right position. And it's the red team having to respond every time to them.
Okay, they are 5 top, but it's not the end of the world, because top objective after these pushes should be a priority. You can almost get the full fort.
Zealous is in a little bit of trouble here. Comes out though. We see Rexar both on the shrine and also on the shrine. Hook not quite connecting with Li Ming. These targets are very, very small. Greenfish tries to put a bit of damage into Calzador, but without the help of Linux, they are not going to make much of a dent.
So well played of Neo Unity to walk off. They walk out, tried to at least. They got the shots and then knew that the value is already had. I like that play.
Yeah, of course, a good kill here from AFK of Coco. Keeps them in the game for the time being. They do have that Master Assassin on level 4 from Linux. So no additional burst damage from them, but a healthy amount of drilling through with that percentage. Still, blue team claiming this mid shrine, and well, the red team once again responding rather than taking the aggression themselves in the top lane. Hook comes out, hooks onto just the shrine minion. Zealous in a little bit of trouble as Misha walks forward. No one to really stop Misha in this match. That might have been why the blue team picked up this Rexar combo.
Oh, it's Seeker on 7 on Ming.
Temple's magic.
Yeah, they'll be looking for those single target blow-ups.
Something else to fight over.
Not necessarily easy pickings for the resets. Perhaps they're a little bit worried of being very close to this team that has some CC, has some bulk to them. And look, this middle fort, because of the way that Rexar's been playing both the shrine and also the wave, mid fort's so low. Something you very rarely see this early on in the game. But it ain't over. In terms of looking at the later stages, of course, blue team are pushing this top lane. Pop and Fresh having to retreat. But the bot lane is where the red team are responding, trying to find Vintex.
This
Hooks
is
only onto Misha.
a bit rough. Red team has to just commit to whatever they want. If they want bot, just push that. Top is lost already.
Well, I was going to say
But
about potential boss control in this. Arguably does go over to the side of the red team. They have Thrall, who's both heroics, does well on the boss. Gorge, of course, can help there too. Kalthas with nice AoE damage, and Tychus, well, if they really want, can pop Odin right on there and be unstoppable. Meanwhile, we have Disintegrate coming out from Li Ming, who really does want to play backliner, it seems.
I agree with that boss statement. With that said, Neo Unity should never look at the boss. With this big of a lead, you just play the map. You can even give the objectives if need be. They should absolutely not look to put 5 people bot, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, they can almost not give this up, but it's a great stun from Calzador, and the damage into Yemek is just so much. They're trying to get themselves out with the Putrid Bile, by the way, but Factor is the first one who goes down. Hook only manages to land onto Misha. Zelius very much in the enemy team, doesn't have the stairwell and listen. Out comes Light Bomb Muradin. They get a stun onto Thrall, but the Li Ming just can't quite find the damage just yet, as all of these potions are healing up the red team, and with that one kill, they may well find themselves an opening to get back into this game.
But you see what they're trying to point at, right? Transparent, like overcommitting for 5v5 when you have the whole map gives AFK a chance to actually come back here.
Absolutely does. I mean, Zelius in a lot of trouble here. Fortunately, they have 10 armor and a few rubies to just collect up. Yemek trying to extract them, but well, the red team need to back away and just get this temple. It's only half captured. You can't afford to give too much away to the blue team.
They pre-tap and then want to go again.
Yeah, they can try and put a bit of pressure on here. Out comes Misha. Misha needs to be careful. They can look to just focus Misha and open up these team fights a lot. They do get the kill.
He has to go objective.
There, while Listen is available, out it comes, but Yemek is in a lot of trouble as the potion from Zelius just able to get something there. Oh, it's a quick gorge, and Facto gets taken down by Pyroblast. Still, Calzador is in the backline while Poppin' Fresh dismantles Anduin on top of it. Yemek sustaining with so little HP, but the red team are able to claim a couple of names. However, I think this Muradin is going to get away for now. 70 HP.
But here, maybe overconfident for Neo Unity. They have been so calm with the rotations and macro, and here 2 times in a row, they believed that they could just do whatever they want, and Zelius showed them that they can't. Tank Zelius.
Yeah, I mean, this is Deckard Cain. Deckard Cain is a tank, by the way. Not sure if you know this, Isness. Because Deckard Cain has self-sustain in the form of potions. He has armor, which a lot of tanks have, and he has CC, which tanks also have. So tell me what he doesn't have that tanks have.
If I'm a Malpal tank player, of course I know that Deckard is a tank.
For sure. As we see Yemek trying to clear this top lane. This boss, not getting the most value, I will say. It has got a scrap, but the red team have been allowed to soak up to level 13, and that hook is now extra long. Get ready for the hooks to be landed onto every single fort as Yemek clashes with the structures in this top lane.
Li Ming is showing mid.
Yeah, we do have Sunder, by the way, so Poppin could be looking for a flank every time the Vintex is here available. Good use of Odin here as well. Use it on structures. They want to be in their Tychus form in most team fights. As we do see now it coming out. Stairwell and Listen landing onto the Muradin. Rex are in a lot of trouble. Poppin' Fresh, however, equally falls low as Yemek tries to peel for them.
Oh, Li Ming survives. Right. Glass cannon though.
Yeah, glass cannon, but she did have 50 spell armor, thankfully. Muradin leaps in though, and out comes a good bit of focus onto Deckard Cain. That's Seeker getting the value it needs. And the red team instantly have to retreat as a double temple phase is awake here.
I hope they don't back off too much. They can still get one of the objectives as 4, I feel.
It's tough, right? Because they want to get the mid one, but the mid one is where the blue team are right now. Bot one feels very scary as well on top of that because they're so penned in. But blue team are committing to this top one. And you're right, they should try and get something. And, well, in terms of actual structure damage, it's now a little more even than it was at the start of the game.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
And often when we have even structure damage like this, we do still look to the boss. It's 2 minutes out, but we have seen the blue team have the ability to take it. And we talk about that boss control still. There's no Gorge, it is Bile, but Stay a While and Listen and the Sunder is more than enough to make up for that.
I like Bile here. You can just walk into the back line. Then you have KT Thrall to follow up. Bile on Anduin, and he should be screwed every time. Unless he gets a good light bomb.
As the final shots of the bottom temple are taken, this middle fort doesn't quite fall. So those external structures of the keeps are slowly being taken down by the blue team. It's the red team.
Ooh, close.
Try to find a blind hook. And the minion, oh, doesn't quite have enough damage to take it down.
You can see some nerve here, I believe, because both teams starts to be S5 even when they have vision of the enemy team. So no one wants to take a real risk, but that might become the bigger risk at the end of it. Look at Deckard here. Hey.
Yeah. I mean, I told you, Zelius plays like it's the last moment, looking to make the big play every single time. We have a double siege camp in the bot lane. They have to clear that out. Level 16 is not yet here for the red team as well. Now picked up. That's going to give them some crucial CC that they absolutely need, like this Heradric staff.
But you see, the 5-man rotations from both teams. That can be good for AFK, I feel.
I mean, AFK do want to be as 5. You know, when they're as 5, they've got all the tools they need. I think obviously Misha can be quite annoying, but doesn't add as much as that Thrall route from the Stitcher's Hook here.
One temple, that makes it exciting. Top camp, then 5v5 on objective should be sort of game deciding.
Yeah, I like the red team prioritizing a little bit of bruiser camp here. Boss is up in 15 seconds, so if they win a fight on this bottom temple, red team can absolutely take a bit of a boss push. But blue team are going to have to be aware of this top pressure from the camp.
They're positioned already. And I think top you have like infinite time. The whole objective will be done before it even reaches keep, I feel, the camp.
That is if both teams play it fast, but both teams, as you say, are on a hesitant thing. We see Khazor go in, find the light bomb as well, finds onto 2, but Stitch is going with the peel. Out comes the Sail One and Listen, does get silenced though, and the red team are a little bit of danger. Bile trying to boost some peel. The damage coming on onto Zelius. Zelius falls lower and lower, gets the bonk on top of them. Muradin and Sylvanas both go down. Decker Kane does eventually fall. Li Ming not able to find a reset here as the chain bomb lands onto Rexar, spreads onto Li Ming, and Yimek might try and find something as a great Odin blast takes down the Diablo 2 Wizard.
Continue.
Deckard Kane living for like a little bit longer than they should have done there really turned that around in AFK for
I mean, he almost survived. It was the last stun that made sure he couldn't alt Q. But so they go boss and bot for a keep, I guess.
Yeah, someone should just throw a quick ability on this mid, and they do indeed. Pushing this bot lane. With Decker Kane back up in, well, now they need to leg it all the way down to this bot. Can they put pressure on?
Pushing here is dangerous.
They don't have Odin. They do have boss. But they are 3 versus 5.
But they get to keep anyway. Like without even being there.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's time to get out. Maybe one more grenade from Tigers if they really wanted to, but yeah, that is done. I don't think you're ending the game. Or Hook comes out, doesn't
No,
quite connect. Seeker going
If you look to end the game, you would have pushed keep before boss, I feel. So now they just play the map, get their own pressure instead, and then they can go as 5 and look for a hook.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to try and end the game, you do need that Odin, I think, for the side of the red team. You know, you've got okay damage, but it's not super great otherwise. Level 20 almost here for both teams, so even now. But the structure advantage is finally in the side of AFK for Coco. Next objective is a double one. They can start just trading them if they want, but I don't think that's going to happen. Both teams, as you say, so tense right now. And Vinteg's in a little bit of trouble. Hook comes out.
Hook.
Beanfish is going to be there with a stun, but it gets caught out by Play Dead. The time has been bought for the blue team to arrive, but Light Bomb is connecting onto the other side. Zelius in a little bit of trouble, but stay one and listen, trying to keep people alive. Zelius drinking as many potions as they can, but the orbs, the stuns, Deckard Cain goes down. Out comes the Pyroblast, but I think Sylvanas will survive, so will Calzador. And the red team, although they managed to do a lot of damage, do not take anyone down. Taking fights pre-20, even though you got the hook. Oh, Yimek, what are you doing? You've engaged against Muradin.
He has the up, I guess.
So 30 seconds until Deckard Cain is back up. Both of these objectives could well go the way of the blue team. And although there's a small bit of pressure in the bot lane, I think this mid keep may well go down. Top keep will take a real beating.
Oh, both can fall. Like, it's enough shots, right?
Oh, yeah, I didn't even realize that the top wall is completely gone. Hook comes out, helps out the blue team a little bit here.
They know that one is top.
They seem to be a little bit split on what their decision is. They're going for Bruiser Camp instead at the moment, which I feel like is a bad decision. Yimek showing top, though, means that Rexar is just keeping Misha around.
This is almost bot keep, if they would have gotten all the shots. Even now, make Syl rotate bot and just finish that, I feel.
It's a little bit tough when the minions are all the way far back. She does do okay structure damage by herself.
And with these shots, it will be like 30%.
Yeah, she's getting some. The red team are arriving, though. Out comes the Ming Orb. The hook not connecting, unfortunately. Li Ming is going to fall low, but Sylvanas takes a huge chunk of damage from that Pyroblast. But it is going to be Muradin who, although they've popped the avatar, the percentage damage does get through them. Boss is up in 1 minute. It's too long for the red team to do anything, but can they end the game? You have to pressure core here. I mean, there are 3 catapults here, and Sylvanas should be able to clear them out.
Yeah, I like going core, but I don't think they can do it here.
I mean, they have big red button, right? They have big red button. That is the only thing. But Li Ming is able to shred through a lot of things. They have respect the elderly. Big red button now used. Misha coming in. Focus there. Poppin' Fresh very far forward. Has to be careful. They do have Sunder if they need it, but Poppin' Fresh is going to fall down to 6 HP. Goes to collect a big potion in the backline. Zelius equally falling low as we see the pressure onto core has stopped as they turn onto heroes.
I mean...
Potions available. Linux getting pushed back. Shields going down. Muradin up in 10 seconds. The red team need to either make a decision. Yimek stuck inside the core. 10% off it. But Zelius now far too far forward. Surely they go down.
This has to be a throw, I think.
Oh, this is taking a lot of damage. Beanfish, though, taking down Calzador. And yes, it does look like Neo Unity are going to be our Division 4 champions. Still, Calzador falls to the pressure of Poppin' Fresh and Linux. Yimek trying desperately to sustain themselves, but I think with Li Ming and Sylvanas both alive, minions in the mid lane, and Deckard Cain and Stitches another 20 and 30 seconds away.
You could do whatever. You could do all camps, boss, objective, or core. Like, it's checkmate.
It is indeed. Poppin' Fresh comes in here to try and make something, but without the spell shield at level 13, they are taking a lot of damage. They are trying desperately to do something. Wailing Arrow comes out, though. The root not quite connecting. It's a huge root from Poppin' Fresh, but it ain't going to be enough, son. And it's another kill. The nail on the coffin starting to be hammered in here by Neo Unity. They've done a phenomenal job. They've finished off many a great team in Division 4 to come all this way. And they are looking to take the championship. The Sky Temple Temples rain their damage down. It's a 3-1 victory here for Neo Unity as they are our Division 4 Grand Champions of Season 25. GG. Samu, there we go. Our champions have been crowned.
It's here, and they
Yeah,
never gave up.
very well played from both teams here, I think, in this game number 4. Even though it looked very tough 5k for Coco, they came back very close, and they were very close to winning it. In those few moments, there were a few decisions they would have needed to make different, and then they could have also just won this game and bring us towards the map number 5.
Next season, we get 5 games between these teams.
Next season, indeed. Well, they did a phenomenal job, of course. And, you know, there was light there for AFK, for Coco, but commiserations to them, certainly. Valiantly played, but Neo Unity are our champions. 3-1 victory. And I think the reason why these all go to 3-1 is because that adds up to 4. And, of course, this is Division 4.
That's how we had 5 maps in the Division 5 finals yesterday. True.
Exactly. So Division 3, watch out. It's going to be a 3-0, so you better win that first game. And I don't know what happens if Div 2 and Div 1.
Technical victories.
Did I say the wrong division name at the end? Oopsie. Yes, yeah. I mean, they came in here. They obviously played very well on the Sylvanas, the Slim Min combo, but the Muradin and Anduin were definitely stars of the show throughout the whole series. Spoon did a really good job, even though they got pressured a lot on that Volsky Foundry game. A lot of those pulls really took them in, and the only game that they lost was actually where Anduin was banned out by themselves.
Yeah, I think Anduin is a very big tool in general in all divisions, and I think if you do not necessarily have the draft you want against it, it is very hard to go get a deal with him. I also, with the season I was captain recently in Div 3, we pretty much banned Anduin every game because we just didn't want to deal with that hero because those pulls. We saw it this game, we saw it in the entire series, I think. Those pulls can really save the day.
Yeah, they just stop so much momentum coming out from a team sometimes. I mean, that's why Cleanse was nerfed for a lot of heroes. You know, we had Cleanse nerfed around the clock, and then Anduin comes in with the level 0 Cleanse. Of course, Rhaegar has that now too. But yeah, it's a very, very powerful tool.
All right, with that, I think we're getting a small interview with Neo Unity here about their recent.
Ah, on a été mis dans le caster.
Oh, oops, sorry. There we go.
Hello and welcome.
Thanks for having us here.
Well, Samu, it's been, and also Neo Unity, congratulations to you guys. As I'll do my board member bit now. Really well done to you. We, of course, will be getting you some small tokens of prizes coming towards your way at some point in the future. I can't guarantee when, as postage and everything always takes a little bit of a crazy turn. But you did phenomenally well. And, of course, a big thank you to everybody who has taken part in Division 4 this season. It's great to have so many returning teams come into Heroes Lounge. And also the people who cast Division 4, as well as obviously Samu and Isness, who have been here today doing a little bit of production and, of course, casting. I'm not going to pat myself on the back too much, don't worry. And, of course, Eric the Swift, who has been the admin here today. And, of course, all of our moderators who put in a lot of work throughout the whole season, registering subs and doing that. Really great to them. And once again, big congratulations to you guys, Neo Unity. Samu, do we have some questions for them?
Anduin seems to have been a very big part in this 4 maps today, especially for you guys. Was it all the entire season? Did you really prefer the Anduin and got a lot of value out of him?
We switch a bit the other position around during the season. So I decided was Mary and was more focusing on Stukov. And then Spoon played again heal, and I think it has been a staple on his toolkit since a couple of seasons right now. And we always been a lover of the Genji light bomb combo or Muradin light bomb combo, and plus the D is always helpful during a team fight and in other situations. And we knew also when we look at the stats from the other team that Anduin was always an option also on their side. So that's why we decided to play him again during this final. But again, it's been we're used to playing with him and with Spoon on Anduin.
Well, of course, you did have that one little wobble in the Tomb of the Spider Queen, but after that, you kind of thought, well, yeah, Chen seems like a good ban after that point. Was it just the extra little Chen factor that caused a little bit of that?
Yeah, on this, I think, yeah, you got it right. What's called the ultimate of Chen, the keg, is always a threat, and we're not used to playing it against. And we know again from their side that they are big Shen lovers. And I think the idea was let's put out of their draft some of the more crazy, unique ultimate and see where it leads us. And I think also on Spider Queen, yeah, the whole combo around Stitches with Uta, Fast Touch, Shen, a lot of things to make it work. And we saw from the game it was tough for us to play against it today, so we just decided to ban it to save us the trouble.
You also decided to ban Johanna a lot today into AFK for Cocoa. Was it a target ban against him, or just generally a ban you don't want to play against her, and that they play her makes you even more motivated to ban her?
Yeah, I think again you got it right. It's both. We all know it's still a very strong pick at the moment, so and always a threat. We know also from their stats that they used to playing her or ban her, but I think they were quite motivated to ban Varian and Ticus. Or if they don't ban Ticus, they pick it first. So yeah, I think we just wanted it out of the game. And on my side, I'm not. Well, I mean, I know she's strong, but I'm not a fan of the gameplay. So better out again from our draft. Just too strong. And I think it fits their playstyle, having some kind of big ultimates. Like with the Descartes ultimate, the Uther 20 also, or the D-Shield, etc., etc. So the answer is both, right? I think target ban and also general ban.
Speaking of playstyles, you guys in game number 1 on Dragonshire with sort of very much a slow push all around the map, obviously taking little by little, but eventually, of course, taking the core. Who's sort of the main shot caller for you guys, who's sort of guiding the team through this little by little chipping away at structures?
Well, I'm the main shot caller. I think we also take, Vintex is also communicating, and the rest of the team as well. This Spoon and Facto a bit less, but yeah, I'm the main shot caller. I think we felt team fight was always tough, and I think you saw it during the stream. It was always on the thin margin to get through and win it. So we felt like any advantage we could get through good call macro was was to be taken, and that's why also we like to pick the Sylph and or the fast that we did on Volskaya, and I think it showed that we can work them well.
I feel that the deciding factor in the series was the shot calling. It was just gave you incremental lead, You took a little bit, then looked for good fights, had the macro going on, like great shot calling, Calcidor and Near Unity.
Thanks a lot.
Alright, then any more questions from you, Transparent or Isness?
I don't think I have anything more. Obviously, you guys did phenomenal. There's some awesome play from everybody in the team. You guys, obviously rocked the Muradin throughout the whole thing, just keeping a steady rock. And I think it was just a superb display. You absolutely deservedly were the winners of this series. So really well done. Big congratulations to you.
Thanks a lot, and we also take our time to thanks, of course, the Euroslan admin, mods, and casters today. Always helpful and always a pleasure to be casted. Transparent, I want to say that you miss a big semi-final on Wednesday. We know where you looked at. Of course, Bahamut saved us the day after and casted our games, but we didn't forget the trickery on Wednesday. And also special thanks to Toki. It's a mod who helped us at the start of the season where we had a bit of change within the team. So big thanks to her, but of course to everyone here in Nero's Lunch.
Alright, I guess with this we also have the shoutouts done. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Transparent. This is for joining me here today, and I hope to see you guys all back next season for Heroes Lounge. !sign up in the Twitch chat for more information. And of course, I also want to see you all back next Friday, where we have Division 3 finals, then Division 2 finals on Saturday, and then both Division 1 finals on the Sunday next week. So thank you all for joining. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will be back next week. Bye!
Bye.
Goodbye.